Really? He puts it in 0 seconds remaining!
He seems to be playing hard for it.
Oh my goodness! Rudy, what is
He
this?
doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, he's got the oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Hold on. Surely this kid. Oh my lord.
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Stay on the goal line. He did nearly over. Sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League. I am Ventus, joined with Mallow, and we're instead of getting into some matches, we have a little bit of a pre-segment here with the players of the week, and I'll kick it to you, Mallow, for the first one. But first, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I don't know if I actually have the list, Ventus, so I've actually got to kick that one back to you. But I'm telling you, man, I got my tea because we have a fantastic couple of weeks coming up, a couple of good matches tonight. But first, we got to get through this Player of the Week nominations from last week.
Yeah. We're gonna kick it off in the Titan League. We have a very special guest, Chef, aka Zen, for Venganza. He put up some incredible stats this week, and Venganza, I believe, won both their matches. So good play over there from Venganza, and specifically Chef. He's kind of that super high caliber mechanical player who kind of just you never want to deal with on the opposing side, and he can just kind of pull some mechanics out of his behind and just make some crazy things happen. So I know he's a great player, and I'm not surprised at all to see him as the Titan League Player of the Week for Week 7.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're as we go through these, we could list out the stats here, but like I said, I came here pretty late, unfortunately. So I don't know if I necessarily have those. I may have actually received them, but however, we will go to the rival player of the week, and no surprise either on the Blaze team, it's Kidsby.
I mean, Kisby, one of the players who kind of got a little bit of an interesting season. He got traded from Vortex on a team with Sanzo and LK to Blaze, And they started off a little bit slow, but it seems like they finally found their stride. Kisby back into that kind of postseason form that we're used to seeing from him. So yeah, another name that we're not too surprised to see, but again, glad that he's able to kind of bounce back from that midseason trade, and him and Sansa are working together really nicely. And now that we've done Titan and Rival, we can go down to the Challenger League where we have J Rod from the Griffins. And I watched him last week on stream. I was casting one of his games, and man, the Griffins team looked really, really good. I was kind of surprised because they were one of those like lower middle chally teams that really needed to make a name for themselves, and J Rod really stood out that series.
Yeah, he really did, and it's no surprise at this point with J Rod getting the Player of the Week and on the Griffins there because that team did a phenomenal job last week. And I did catch bits and pieces of that, and yeah, absolutely not surprised. And we go into prospect here, Ventus, and we're going to be talking about one of the people that is going to be on the pitch tonight as the player of the week from last week, which is Speed Demon. He's going to be the player of the week, and I heard Ventus. He put up some crazy numbers last week.
Yeah, he was bragging to me after his second series of the week on Wednesday, and he was talking to Crip. He was like, "Man, I'm so confident in the fact that I got Player of the Week. I'll bet you $5 that I got it." And he's like, "You can go ahead and put it on your graphics. You can set it up for the stream already because I know I got that in the bag." And I was like, you know what? Based off the stats that he showed me, I mean, he was killing it. He had so many goals per game. I mean, I think he averaged at least 600 points per game as well. It's just some crazy stats, and hopefully we'll be able to see that a little bit later. But we're not quite there yet because we have one more player of the week to go through, and that is the Novice League Player of the Week, and that's going to go to Guacman John for the Crows. And this is another game that I believe I casted on stream, and it was them against the Acceleration roster with Chunklight, and the Crows came out balling. Guacman had 3 goals per game in that series. They swept. I believe he had 2 goals game one to solidify their game win. In game two, he had a hat trick out of nowhere. And then game three, I believe he put up 4 goals in game three. And so crazy stats from that match. And if he did anything close to that in the match Monday, then I could only imagine what his points per game were. But another great player coming out from the novice league, and a good showing, especially with how up and up the Crows have been. I believe they took the 2 seed. You might need to fact check me on that, but they are in that they're in the 3 seed, so they got the 3 seed for now. They're looking to potentially get the 2 seed, and they have looked really good, especially with their win against Acceleration.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say because I faced them last week. I faced the Crows. So the Crows got some revenge against us, the Gorgons, last week. They swept us, and Guacman John was absolutely all over the field. Like you could not take a breath without seeing that man in front of your camera going for that ball. He was all over the place. He did a great job last week. I am absolutely not surprised at all that that man was player of the week last week. And hats off to all of these players of the week, from novice to Titan. I know we had a couple of breaks there for novice and Titan this season, but now we're full speed to the end of the season here. We got 2 weeks. We only have Ventus. We only have 3 teams that have been eliminated throughout the entire Nemesis Gaming League. So uh, pretty much almost every single team, if you're a part of them or if you're a fan of them, they're in the running right now, except for 3 of them.
Yeah, and I mean that just shows like kind of how competitive each league has been. I know Titan, I mean the top of Titan is 7-3 and the bottom is 2-8, and everybody's in that middle ground. There's 3, 4, and 6 teams, 2, 6, and 4 teams. They're just so close together. It's so hard to separate themselves. I know Novice is also very, very close. There's a lot of that middle ground. You know, you could even steal a playoff spot, and that's why these matches are so important coming at the end of the regular season. We're going to see a lot of you know, divisional matchups once again. All these teams are going to be playing each other in their division, and those are going to be some of the best matches because a lot of these teams are in the same division as each other, or they're in the division with another team that is looking for a playoff chance, and those matches are very, very competitive and very you know, great content to watch for us. So, I mean, we can start talking about our amazing match today that we have, where we get to see Speed Demon once again in the Rooks against the Gladiators. And I mean, both of these teams have been on an absolute tear. I know that the Rooks have won their last 6 games straight, which is absolutely insane to me. I mean, Speed Demon putting up some amazing stats during that time as well. He kind of picked it up. I know he's I mean, I know he's top 15 on like every single stat category now and top 10 in some others. And so he's been a great help to this team. I know that the chef 98 also picked up some steam, and he has been phenomenal for the Rooks as well. And I mean, I don't want to keep talking so much good about the Rooks because the Gladiators as well. Man, the Gladiators have been on a tear ever since they swept Origin on stream. It looks like they just can't be stopped.
Yeah, they really can't. And, you know, they have Vokes here, which is an insane pickup there. Vokes is always a really good player here, and he was challenger last season. He's prospect this season, an absolute goaded player. We have banned this one too, which is a funny name in itself. He is number 3 player rating wise in prospect. So, you know, we have a top 3 player here, and then of course we have, as you mentioned, we have Speed Demon. He's a top 15 player. And then we have the other stats that you mentioned with Speed Demon and Chef. Chef and Speed Demon are all over the scoreboard when it comes to stats. But you know what, Ventus, we're about to start. Here we go.
We are kicking things off. Another great game, another great night of Rocket League. Here comes game number 1 between the Rooks and the Gladiators. The Rooks getting a pretty good kickoff here. Wolfie gonna get a clear away, but Speed gonna get a nice catch. Gets bumped for his efforts. Vokes able to pick that one up in the midfield. Able to get a shot as well. Kind of a miscommunication between the Rooks and the Gladiators. Gonna kick this one off with an easy 1-goal lead.
Oh man, still continuing that momentum, going 4-1 in their last 5 series. You mentioned that the Rooks were on a hot streak. So are the Gladiators here, and they're starting off early here, 1-0 early.
Yeah, and the Rook's a little bit awkward out of the gate. It looked like Speed kind of rotating back, didn't get a bump on Vokes, which his teammates were playing off of, and that gonna be a pretty easy capitalization from Vokes, being how good he is. But Chef gonna look to create some momentum on this one, trying to pop it into the midfield, ban this
Think
one.
we
Gonna be on that one first. Hello.
Oh, I thought we saw a potential rule 1 there for a second. Sorry, I was going to cut in there, but it looks like they were able to bounce out of it. So, but you know, here we are. We got the Gladiators pushing on offense. Wolfie getting it onto the front half here. Crimson and Speed kind of double committing for that save there, and now it's in front of the goal. Is banned this one actually gets that one in, just flipping towards it, being the bigger car there.
Is my mic working?
A little bit of a bump there by Wolfie too. That was a good bump there by Wolfie to on that defense to try and keep them at bay. And 2-0 here early on. Gladiators are starting out strong, Ventus.
Yeah, definitely starting off very strong as Gladiators kind of creating a lot of opportunities with these bumps. A good bump by Wolfie in the net and Vokes with a good bump on the challenger as well, just to open up the scoring and allow the Gladiators to propel themselves to a 2-goal lead. And it looks like finally Rook's able to show some signs of offenses. This one going to be cleared away by Ban, this one, but Crimson able to get a good 50. Wolfie gonna get a 50 of his own, but it's right to the midfield for Chef. Chef elects to leave it for Speed. Speed puts it off the backboard, not able to put that one on target, but able to keep generating some pressure as he was able to get that corner boost. Almost a redirect by Ban this one, but Crimson gonna block that one away. And some more offensive pressure coming out from Gladiators as Vokes gonna find a little bit of a hole in the defense and put that one in the net.
Yeah, the defense right now is very lackluster here for the Rooks, which is very surprising considering you got both Chef and Speed Demon here in the top 15, more technically the top 12 with Speed Demon and tied for 12th here. But the defense is definitely not into play right now early on in this game one. And I don't know if it's stream jitters this late in the season. I wouldn't think so, but who knows? That's always a thing. But right now, you got to get it together. Try to turn this game one around and at least start getting something going.
The Rook's rotation seems very out of whack, as you were saying, as this one might be another shot. Wolfie not going to put that one on target. Speed not going to be able to get that read, and Vokes going to get a little bit of another open net, and he's going to get a hat trick and propel the Gladiators to a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, speed there. Just I not. I understand that positioning myself because you don't know where that thing's going to bounce off that backboard, that crossbar. If it's going to just bounce down, if it's going to bounce in, bounce out, whatever. And speed was just caught in an awkward situation there, unfortunately. But now, what you need to do, you still have about half of the game to go. You want to at least try to get some sort of momentum going here if you're the Rooks, and continue to try and get goals and the offensive pressure going, just like what they're doing here. They're doing it pretty good. They're causing some I would say double commits and some panicking on the Gladiators, but here we are. The Gladiators were able to send it out.
Gladiators seem very comfortable on defense, very calm, cool, collected, as the Rooks kind of a little bit more panicky. Hopefully they will be able to settle in as this game a little bit out of hand. There is still 2 minutes remaining if the Rooks can get something going, but ban this one. Going to get a very strong clear into the midfield. Wolfie getting a beat on Crimson as the last man back, as well as a bump. Not going to be able to put that one on target, though, as Vokes looking to create some offensive pressure. Likes to fake it and then get a 50. Crimson gonna have to take this one up, but Wolfie gonna get first to this ball. Speed clearing this one away, kind of getting rid of all that trouble. Looking for a pass in the midfield. It's coming off the back wall. Bump coming out from Crimson, not gonna connect there, and Chef gonna have to play that midfield presence and collect that ball in the midfield for the Rooks. Speed gonna try to get some offense going, but gonna be cleared away by ban this one. A double commit coming out by the Rooks, and this could be dangerous as it looks like Wolfie trying to clear the one away, but it's going to be stopped in the midfield. Some good cuts from the Rooks, at least during this final minute entry of game number one. They seem to show a little bit more signs of life as they're controlling the midfield a little bit better. They aren't, I say they aren't double committing as much. They still are double committing a little bit, but almost a shot coming out from Speed Demon Crimson. Going to put this one off of the corners, ban this one, going to get a nice clear away, and a bump coming out once again on the side of Gladiators and Speed. Going to have to kind of cover his teammate there. Going to have to just clear that one away. Not going to be able to find this touch. It's going to go back into the orange half. Chef going to look for a little ceiling shot action. Going to put this one around one defender, looking to stay with it. Pops it once, looking for a shot. Mike going to put this one on target. Not going to put this one on target. It's such a close shot, but with 30 seconds remaining, it looks like this game number one might be a little bit over. Gladiators maybe getting one for the road here. Is that one going to be off the post and out, but Gladiators very dominant in game number one. Rooks leave much to be desired, and we hope that they can, clean up some of those rotations coming into game number two.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I'm definitely noticing is they're giving the Gladiators a lot of space, and that would have been a goal pending time there. But the Gladiators are getting a ton of space, and it goes with the rotation there, right? The Rooks need to tighten that rotation. They need to challenge the Gladiators, make those 50s happen because those are extremely important when it comes to the prospect league here. You get a little bit more consistent with the ball. It's not always, but when you're going up for that as a prospect player, you're going to see some whiffs and some misses there, and you're going to see double commits, which we saw a lot of from the Rooks. Now they were improving that just a little bit towards the end, but really they need to get more aggressive on offense, start doing the bumps that we saw the Gladiators do. And when that happens, they are going to be able to pick it up. They're going to be able to pick up that speed because it's going to make the Gladiators very uncomfortable, and that's what they need.
Yeah, and hopefully the Rooks will find an answer to this Gladiators offense, as well as they were able to generate a lot of double commits with their bumps. Maybe some more communication is needed from the side of Rooks, but hopefully that will be fixed going into game number 2, as hopefully we get to see some more content. We get to see the Rooks showing signs of life. They did look much better at the end of game number 1. They were able to stop the bleeding that the Gladiators were able to force and all the goals that happened in the first half of game number 1. Chef getting a nice 50 into the midfield. Speed Demon going to be first on this one. Takes it up the wall. He's looking for a pass out into the midfield. Gonna have the pass, but not gonna be capitalized on. His folks able to get that one cleared away. Ban this one a little bit awkward in the corner. Chef trying to muscle a 50 through. Crimson gonna look for a pass off the backboard, but it's gonna be caught away by Wolfie. A little bit more aggression from the Rooks here as they're able to create some offense, but just as I say that, a long clear into the midfield gonna help relieve some of that pressure. Speed looking for a potential sidewall maybe, as he's gonna get the double, not gonna put this one on target. Looks like a double commit coming out from the side of Rooks. Gonna be communicated that Chef is going to take that one. Crimson's gonna leave it. Potential shot coming out from Speed, and that one gonna be pinched away. A great save from Vokes, as he was able to pinch that one off his own teammate, but the aggression is not stopping yet as Chef looking for a reset. Gonna get a double into the midfield, and Speed gonna actually be able to put that one home. A great double touch there from Chef, and I mean, a great play overall.
Yeah, that was a great team play. Crimson had that fantastic 50 in the air there, able to get it back to Chef. Chef getting it to the center there for Speed, and they were able to score that goal. And that's exactly what we were just talking about there, Ventus. Pick up that aggression and pick up the momentum there. Oh my goodness, as it barely goes in there. I don't know how that managed to go in that way, because I think they were panicking a little bit. The Rooks did there, but the Gladiators, they answered right back.
Even though the Rooks were able to generate so much offensive pressure and put one in, it seems like one mistake there on the side of their defense, and Gladiators going to capitalize on that one. As a great shot coming out with the awkward defense is just going to put the score back 1-1 and allow the Gladiators to get back into this game. Chef gonna try to keep this one possession on the back wall. Gonna try to get a pinch away and not gonna get past Wolfie, but Crimson already on the back wall as well. Not a great touch as it's gonna go back out in the midfield, but no one there for the follow. Volks playing a very far back third man. Looks like he's gonna look for a pass to ban this one. Ban this one up, looking for a double tap, and he is gonna sink that one home and give the Gladiators a 2-1 lead.
Oh my goodness, what a team play there by Vokes, and ban this one with a beautiful double there off the backboard. And you know, the Rooks still look lost on defense, and that's where they need to clean up the most right now. If they can continue that pressure that they were doing on offense there, then they need to do it on the defense and clean that up, and then they'll have a much better opportunity to be able to take at least one game away from them right now, as Chef sends it away. But Wolfie gets a demo there. Vokes going to try and just, I thought he was going to pop it up there, and Crimson with the insane save there, as they're almost triple committing there.
It's never what you want to see for the Rooks on the defensive side, is a triple commit. It looks like Speed not able to get a read on this ball, neither was the Gladiators attacker, Wolfie. And this one's going to be 50 back out into the midfield. Vokes going to be first to this ball. He's going to take it for a dribble on the wall. Gets a flick past one. Chef going to have to try to clear this one away. Ban this one. Looking for another shot on target. It's actually going to be a pass to Wolfie. And Wolfie going to put that one home to give the Gladiators a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, now the thing I'm starting to notice as to why they're having the trouble on defense is the boost. They're gone. They need to figure out a different way to manage their grab boost here, because Gladiators are starving them, and that's kind of the reason why they're struggling so hard on defense here. So they need to figure out some sort of defensive rotation to include some small pads here and some additional potential big pads to go with it. But right now, they need to get on the offense right now if they want to try and get back into this game.
They've been suffocated in their own half for a little over a minute now as Speed not able to find a clear. Ban this one. A great pass out to Vokes. Vokes going to get a beat on one, looking for a 50. Does get it. Wolfie's going to be first to pick this ball up. Leaves it off the backboard for Ban this one. Going to be put back up to the backboard, but Crimson going to be able to clear this one away. And we see once again the lack of boost from the Rooks. Really feeling that aggression. Speed trying to get a shot on target. Not going to do so, as that was a great attempt of a solo play, just not going to find the back of the net. Crimson looking for a shot of his own, not going to be able to put that one on target with such low boost. Speed going to have to try to pick this one up in the midfield, gets beat by Ban this one. Ban this one, looking for a beat on Chef as well. Crimson last man back, going to have to get a good clear. Vokes going to pick this one up in his own corner. Doesn't get a good 50, it's going to leak out into the midfield. Speed not going to be able to find that as he's going to be blocked away. Another shot attempt coming up by Chef, but it's just above the crossbar. Speed kind of giving the ball away back to the Gladiators defense, and Wolfie is just going to take his time, take the little possession, get a good demo. Vokes passing it out into the midfield. Crimson's a little bit awkward, does get the clear, but it's right to Wolfie in the midfield. Wolfie getting a little touch onto the sidewall, looking for a second touch in the corner. It's going to be cleared away. A double commit coming out, a bump on the last defender. Ban this one, trying to look for another bump, but no follow-up from Vokes as he was sitting as a hard third man, as he did not want the Rooks to get any more goals and try to even up this scoring. Speed looking for a shot of his own. A great pass coming out by this Chef.
Hold up.
And Speed able to put that one in. There's a chance, Mallow.
Oh, there's definitely a chance, Ventus. We got 23 seconds. Anything can happen in that 23 seconds. And um, I'm still not liking what I'm seeing from the Rooks on defense, especially. They really need to figure out their boost management here. But right now, they got to go on the offense here, not the defense. They need to throw caution to the wind here, if you will. Nice little bump there by Speed, but didn't really help. And Rooks, do they get it? No, they don't. Not yet. We got 1 second left. Last chance. And Gladiators send it down with the 50. Match point.
Unfortunately for the Rooks, that is going to put them one loss away from a sweep, and their momentum seemingly going into this game completely shattered. Gladiators really in control, looking for a fourth sweep as well in the last 5 games. And I mean, I wouldn't be able to blame them. I mean, the Gladiators have looked very good on both sides, offense and defense. They've been able to diffuse all of the pressure, hold on to their defense and wait for these overcommits from the Rooks, and then obviously capitalizing a bunch on the offensive side of the ball. They've been able to just make the Rooks super awkward, steal the boost, hit great double taps as Ban this one was able to do earlier in this game. And I mean, that's kind of been the difference, is just the Gladiators have been able to stay more calm on defense and really held on, and they haven't had many double commits, if any, whereas the Rooks have really struggled, not only communication wise and boost wise, but just rotationally on defense. They have not looked like themselves, and I mean, that might just be how the Gladiators are playing it. It might just be forcing them into super awkward spots. But as we go into game number 3, Rooks versus the Gladiators, Mallow, what are you kind of hoping to see from the Rooks?
The Rooks, we definitely got to see more passing plays for sure. Send that ball across the field here. Send it across the pitch. Get it above that defense. Make them reach out for that, because you're not really challenging them. And on top of that, I'm not seeing much in the way of bumps and demos as we just saw there from Crimson. But we really need to see some aggression on offense. I think that's really been the biggest thing here, is the aggression on offense has not been that great. And then when it comes to defense, now their defense has been pretty okay. However, their awareness is not that great, and that's where it's getting them, is because they're getting bumped and they're getting demoed without any issues there from the Gladiators, any punishment. And I think that's kind of where it hurts them the most. But right now, we're seeing the Rooks starting the way they did game 2, very aggressive, which they had the bigger shot count, the higher shot count the previous game there. out shooting them with 3 more shots, but they couldn't turn them into goals, and that's the key factor right now, Ventus.
Definitely. Hopefully, the Rooks will be able to, take some of your advice and maybe look up on those passing plays and the demos and that aggression on offense. Hopefully, they're able to clean up on that defense as well, as they have shown a lot of offense potential. As the Chef gonna get a read off the back wall and put that one right over the last defender to give the Rooks a much needed lead.
Well, I didn't specify how the passing plays should be going on, right? I didn't say it had to be a single person. Ideally, it would be multiple people involved in a team passing play, but sometimes there is an I in team, and Chef proved that there. He made a fantastic solo play there and put the Rooks here on top somewhat early on as Chef gets another goal with Speed Demon. I believe got a good pass up there, and they did I think they're doing exactly what we were talking about. Those passing plays, getting those out of the reach there. That's exactly what happened there. Ban this one tried to go for that one, thought he was able to get it, and the Rooks were able to capitalize on it. So now they're up. I won't say early, but they're up pretty soon here on game 3, which they absolutely need to try and come back into this series.
Let's hope that they will be able to build off of this lead once again, as they struggled after going and scoring in game number 2. It seemed like the Gladiators had an immediate answer, so we'll see if the Gladiators have their own answer to this debacle. Is a good clear coming out from Wolfie. Speed Demon gonna have to play it. Goes towards Crimson. Crimson not able to get a touch though, but it's going into the midfield. A long clear coming out. Speed gonna clear that one back into the Gladiators half. A little bit of a redirect coming out from the Chef. Crimson gonna be first to this ball. Looks like banning this one, trying to pre-flip block. Crimson not gonna be able to get a touch, but Speed's gonna be first to this ball in the midfield, and maybe a little bit of a calculated leave from Crimson. Is Speed gonna put this one in the back of the net to give a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, and the one thing that you'll probably notice too is that the Gladiators aren't starving the Rooks now with the boost. I'm seeing a lot less boost on the Gladiator side, and the Rooks are able to build up a little bit more boost, and that's kind of what I've been talking about. But even then, one thing you want to do is you still want to try and, oh my goodness, what a pass there from Speed to Chef. And this was the duo that I was looking at in stats that has been absolutely insane. And 4-0 here. um I think the Rooks are awake now.
Yeah, they might have been taking your advice a little bit. I mean, they have 3 assists and 4 goals to show for it, so maybe some more passing plays. I think they might have tuned into the stream and just heard what we were saying that they need to work on, and instantly fixed all of it. So, I mean, we can just congratulate ourselves for our amazing analysis, right, Mallow? But the Rooks seemingly a completely different team than they were in games 1 and 2. We saw a little bit in game 2 as they were able to create a lot of pressure for the opening minute, but this is the first time where we've really seen the Gladiators struggle, not only on defense, but in the midfield, not able to get their own clears. I'm going to eat my own words here, as Vokes able to get a great read off of that backboard touch and put that one in the back of the net. Crimson a little bit too awkward with 0 boost on the backboard.
Yeah, and I started to see it there at the end. Like one thing I can't harp enough on. Like I tell my team and anyone that I play with, in the novice league, grab the small pads. They actually matter more than you think. Don't try to always go for those big pads. And so sometimes Prospect League is prone to that. As, oh my goodness, Chef got a little bit of an assist there with that goal there, but Chef getting his 4th goal of this game, 4 for 4 here in this game 3.
Yeah, and Vokes just saw how good of a clear that Chef was able to get, and said he wanted to help put that in. And just a little bit of a mystery. Unfortunately, can't do anything about that. But this is an open net here for the Gladiators. This is a great pass coming out from Ban this one to Vokes, and Wolfie, and Wolfie able to put that one in the back of the net to cut the lead to 3. And we wish that Vokes wouldn't have owned gold that one. Make it a little bit closer of a game, but this is definitely a start in the right direction for the Gladiators.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's still not over. We still have a minute and 30. There's still plenty of time. a lot of things can happen during this time. So you can't say that it is over yet. But you got to look at how the teams are playing and how aggressive they're going to be here. I imagine that the Gladiators are going to get super aggressive, or at least attempt to, because you're basically trying to do anything you can at this point to go ahead and lock this series up. But as each ticking second goes by, you are losing that opportunity to get that game 3 victory here, as Speed Demon just straight up steals a 5th goal from Chef here as he just sits in the goal. And I'm glad I don't do fantasy stuff, because I would have been angry at Speed if I had Chef on my team.
Yeah, well, I know Speed has himself in fantasy, so I know that he's probably he's looking out for number one, which is himself, and the goal, as long as it goes in the net, they probably don't care as the Rooks just trying to find some momentum. They finally do here in game number 3, and they've looked much better. They've been able to generate a lot of offense. They've been able to catch the Gladiators out from being super aggressive. As it looks like
Oh,
Vogue
okay.
just gonna give another own goal to the Rooks and give Speed his own hat trick of the game. And I mean, that's just, I don't even know what to say about that one.
Do we need to check to see if Vokes is in the fantasy league and see if he has Speed Demon, because I feel like that might be intentional there. But no, the at this point, if you're the Gladiators, you want to try and make sure you can at least get one here for the road to try and potentially, get that momentum swung in your favor. But the way it's been looking, I don't know if that's going to happen. I can see Ban this one has kind of gave up here, which yeah, as you can see. But the Rooks getting game 3 and potentially starting. We'll see what happens here, but they're still on match point. They got a lot of work to do here. Rooks getting 7 goals to 2, 11 shots. The thing that does stick out to me though, um, Ventus, is that the saves were almost non-existent on both sides, right? And that's going to be a huge part into this next game here. Whoever can keep that defense up here in uh, game 4 to try and prevent any sort of tilting that we saw here in game 3. Um, that's going to be crucial, I think, especially for the Gladiators. They can't let that game get to them.
Yeah, definitely. And it seems like Ban this one kind of took the mental reset, hopefully, and he's all ready for game number 4 and looking for the Gladiators to kind of slam the door close on this momentum from the Rooks. The Rooks obviously trying to build off of what they did in game number 3, where they're able to generate so much offense. Both these teams seemingly very reliant on their offenses and the offense capabilities, and not a lot of defense being played between these two. I mean, high octane offense is all the content these days, and hopefully that'll be another great match. As Speed looking to take this one, tries to get it in the midfield, but it's going to be cleared away by Vokes. Crimson going to get a pop, looking up to go for an air dribble, goes for the double touch.
Oh,
As a potential read, it's going to be touched by Ban this one, but it's still in the midfield.
oh no.
Third man commit coming from the Rooks, and this one could be a dangerous opportunity for the Gladiators as Ban this one, putting it off the backboard. Wolfie not going to be able to get that shot on target as Crimson's going to save that one away. Chef catching this one, kind of awkward. Vokes gets a decent 50, but it's going to go back into the midfield. Wolfie first to this one, gets a double touch, gonna put that one on target right around the last defender and give the Gladiators a 1-goal lead. And I mean, very great play coming out from the Gladiators. Good response for what happened in game number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I definitely noticed on the Rooks defense there is that I don't know if they're trusting their teammates too much or what, but they tend to leave the defensive part of their rotations very quickly when someone tries to go for the ball, and it leaves them out of position here. And I think that's probably a lot of what's been going on, but I just finally noticed it here in this game where they're being extremely aggressive, and you'll have at least one or two other players moving up field for him, and it's actually a hindrance to him, as we kind of see there where Speed Demon unfortunately Well, he had full boost. I couldn't see how much boost he had, but he got caught on the corner there, and the Gladiators, they're answering strong here in this game 4.
It's a great shot by Ban this one off of a even better pass from Wolfie, I believe, and that one gonna put Speed in such a awkward position. He's not gonna be able to get that touch with Speed. Gonna try to turn things around as he's trying to get it clear. Looking for a bit of an air dribble. Not gonna be able to follow that one on his own. Crimson gonna have to pick that one up. Banks it off the corner. Looking for a pass and a little bit of an overcommit potentially there is Crimson not going to be able to get a great touch. Speed going to have to bail that one out. And
Hold
Wolfie,
up.
as last man back, has to make
Ooh.
a diving commit. Going to get that perfectly, though. To ban this one, trying to make some work of his own. Wolfie, a potential shot on net, going to be saved away by Speed Demon. Looks like a potential roll one coming out on the side of Rooks. And that one's a little bit awkward there, and a little bit of a misrotation once again from the Rooks on the defensive side of the ball. And we've seen that time and time again this series as the Rooks do not look very comfortable on defense. And they look like they are too willing to commit to players on offense. As that one going to be cleared away from a bit of an overcommit as that third man. Once again, a great save coming out by Crimson. Crimson putting in that work so far, having 3 saves to his name. Really solidifying the Rooks, making sure they can't really concede much more than they already have. Speed gonna try to pick this one up in the midfield as he's gonna get it past Ban this one. Looking for a 50, gets a beat on the second one. Chef's there, puts it off the corner, and that one gonna go just wide, and that's a much-needed shot and a much-needed goal for the Rooks, and unfortunately, that one's not gonna come to fruition.
Yeah, it didn't, but there's still, I won't say there's plenty of time, but you're starting to act a little bit more cautious on what there is left here in this game. As Ban this one gets a nice little touch past the defense there, and you kind of would think you have a little bit of urgency as Speed plays it slow there. It was actually a pretty good setup there. Unfortunately, the defense just straight up read it, and the Rooks, they need to do something here. Oh my goodness, that 50 was almost bad, and they need to do something here. I would say within the next 20 seconds or so. Otherwise, this series may be without out of reach here.
Seems like game number 3 might have been a blip in the radar for the Gladiators. They seem to have locked stuff down. Their offense looks so strong right now, catching the Rooks out of rotation, and their rotations are being super awkward, forcing the Rooks to play constant defense as the Rooks having to accumulate 9 saves already with only a minute left. It seems like it's the Gladiators' game to lose as Ban this one, electing to just take some time, kind of a little bit of a troll there as he was just kind of messing around, making sure that he just ate time off the clock. But Speed Demon gonna be there, and it seems like that plan by Ban this one backfired as Speed Demon was able to get a goal, and the Rooks were able to capitalize very quickly.
Yeah, it was a good team play there by the Rooks. Every single one involved in that. It was a little bit more than a minute left, but this is still plenty of time for them to try and tie this up and potentially send this to overtime and or game 5 here. We'll see what happens. But Vokes getting it past the defense there, or sorry, trying to send it past the defense on that save. But right now, the Rooks, time is their enemy.
It definitely is. Clock winding down. Speed puts a great shot on net, and that one gonna tie up the scoring with only 25 seconds left. And crazy things happen in Forbidden Temple. The Rooks come to life late in game number 4 and show that they are not out of this one yet.
We are at Forbidden Temple, ladies and gentlemen, and this is why we do this in game 4, because so many crazy things will happen, and we are not done yet. We have 20 seconds left, and the chef popping it up. Rooks double committing for this. You definitely don't want to see that, and that's going to leave probably a 2v1 or something here, I would think. But it looks like they were able to get back. Crimson sending it back. Now they're just playing a little bit of ping pong, but I think we're going to go to OT here unless something crazy happens. And there we go, Ventus. We're going to overtime here. Game 4. The game or the series is on the line for the Rooks, and both teams are in the playoffs very happily right now. They're both 8-6, but this win here would put them at a much higher seed potentially. And you definitely want that going into the playoffs and play-ins.
Definitely. Anytime you're able to go just a little bit higher, make your matchup a little bit better, it's always better to do so. And we will see whether the Gladiators are able to finish out
Uh-oh.
the series as Chef getting a good pop, but an even better save by Wolfie. Crimson gonna be first to this ball. He likes to take a 50 with Wolfie. Takes another one in the corner. Vokes gonna pick this one up. Speed, a little bit of a dive, but Chef is able to be there to cover. A double commit comes out from the side of Gladiators. And it looks like the Gladiators gonna break out of their half for a second, ban this one, looking to play this ball. It gets demoed for his efforts by Chef in the defensive half. Chef gonna pick up this free ball. Gonna be dove on by ban this one. A great block. Wolfie gonna be first to this ball. Looking for a double touch off the corner. Not gonna find it. Speed gonna clear that one away. But the offensive starting to mount for the Gladiators. A good pass attempt coming out. But it looks like the defense a little bit out of whack for the Gladiators. Wolfie having to dive across net and make that save. And we see some back and forth pressure coming out from both the Gladiators and the Rooks. It looks like Wolfie finally going to break the stalemate in the corner. He's going to get a clear away. Ban this one. Also going to need to clear this one. Crimson looking to pick this ball up in the midfield. Just trying to take his time. Vokes is on him. Vokes going to get a dive. Get a clear into the Rook's half. Speed having to clear that one away on his own. Looks like Speed trying to get it one, but gonna be cut by Ban this one. Ban this one still in the ball. Gets a good pass to Vokes, but Vokes gonna be blocked once again. And a bunch of 50s coming out in the midfield as they're trying to establish some pressures. Chef tries to just pop a little shot on target. Crimson gonna be there for the follow-up, but Vokes gonna be on that one. But a close shot coming out by Speed Demon almost finds a hole in the defense. Wolfie gonna have to clear this one away. Vokes having some time on the ball here, looking to go for a solo play. Going to be instantly dove on by Crimson. And that one going to be very awkward. Both Gladiator members, zero boost. Chef going to get the dunk on Ban this one. And the Rooks take the overtime victory. And we're going to a game 5.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe that just happened. Wow. What an incredible sequence there. And we're going to game 5 here. That just shows everything when it comes to uh Forbidden Temple here. Just absolutely insane things happen here. And we got all the marbles now in game 5 after that crazy overtime game 4, Ventus. The shots, 16 shots by the Rooks and 15 shots by the Gladiators. The defense was there by both teams. The Rooks had a couple more saves than the Gladiators. They had 3 more saves. They were 12 saves versus 9. It was just an insane game that was 100% goal participation by the Rooks and 100% goal participation by the Gladiators there. Like everyone was involved, which is definitely what you want to see there. As a fan of either team, being able to see that gameplay this late in the series going into game 5, Ventus, what are you telling your team if you're the Rooks to try and keep that momentum going, try and get them into this game 5 and complete the reverse sweep?
Would just be saying, hey, we got this. They're the ones who are starting to feel the pressure. We've taken the last 2 games. We're forcing the reverse sweep. They're the ones that gotta be fearing us. I mean, we just played so well in that time. We won a very close overtime game. The momentum's all in our favor. We just need to keep it up, play our game, and really just show out. I mean, that's all we gotta do. And it looks like a little bit of a misrotation is an own goal coming out from Crimson. A very awkward exchange from the Rooks players as Speed, not a great touch in the midfield, and that one gonna be capitalized on the Gladiators. And I mean, now if you're the Rooks, you just gotta say shake it off and reset there. But I mean, a good play nonetheless from the Gladiators, able to capitalize on the mistake from the Rooks. And we saw this in games 1 and 2 where the Gladiators were able to take an early lead, but in game number 4 we saw that Rooks were able to come back from that. It will be a time will tell situation. It's a great pass coming out from Ban this one. Vokes trying to get a touch, runs out of boost. Not a great clear. Chef gonna put this one towards the blue or the Gladiators half, but it's gonna be a great save by Ban this one. But the run isn't over yet. Crimson gonna slot it into the top part of the net, and that one gonna tie up 1-1. A great shot over. It looks like Vokes to the last back with 0 boost. A little bit of an overcommit. None of the Gladiators members had boost at all. And the Rooks gonna equalize and make a very much needed score.
Yeah, Vokes definitely thought that was going to hit the crossbar there. Yeah, I don't know if his teammates were there to try and communicate that that was not going to go in, but that's another crucial thing that some people may not realize here when especially when it comes to novice and prospect, is those extra set of eyes to read those shots to say, yeah, that one's going to hit the crossbar. Say, wait a moment, or jump here or whatever. Do that communication to prepare for what is an obvious miss from a different angle, because that can be extremely crucial. And I think we saw that there.
Definitely might have been a miscommunication on the side of Gladiators, but the Rooks gonna happily take that one as they're looking to create some more offensive pressure. But a good 50 by Wolfie gonna clear into the Rooks half. Speed Demon looking a little bit awkward in the corner. Chef gonna have to clear this one out. Keeps the possession, which I like a lot, keeping the possession on that back wall, not throwing it away, but it looks like the Gladiators gonna regain that position anyways. A good demo in the midfield, actually gonna open up some space for the Rooks to break out. But once again, the Gladiators gonna steal that one away, and they're still playing a little bit of defense as they haven't been able to fully break out. Vokes finally able to get a good clear, but not going to do much with it, as Speed's going to be able to keep it in the orange corner, or the Rook's corner. I keep forgetting I have the forced default car settings, but Crimson gonna have to ban this one. Speed on the ball, looking for a good shot, but kind of works as a fake, as Speed has to kind of cover that angle. Speed looking to take this into a dribble, gets a good 50 into the midfield. Ban this one, not able to get a touch. A pass back to Speed. Speed almost top corner, but not going to find that one perfectly on target, as it's going to hit the post, go out. And now the ball is back onto the Rook side, as Speed Demon having to get another clear. Being able to stay on this ball, looking for a second touch, does get it. Chef able to get a dunk. Speed gonna be first to this one as well. Tries to get a 50 on Vokes, but Vokes gonna be able to stay on this.
Oh,
a double
no.
commit coming out from the Rooks. Chef is back
Oh,
with 0
no.
boost. That one's gonna drop in off the crossbar, and it looks like the Chef might have own goaled it a little bit as well, maybe helping out the Gladiators.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate touch there by Speed. I'm not sure why he decided to go for that one, but the own goals have been killer on both sides here, and this is one that's more important than any of them right now, especially if you're on the Rook side of things, because this is basically for everything for this series right now. Try and complete this reverse sweep, and now you've kind of own goaled it, giving the lead to the Gladiators. Now you got to try and figure out something to get yourself back into this series, or into this game, I should say.
You're going to have to figure something out relatively soon, as you do not want to go into the final seconds down a goal. Hopefully they're going to be able to claw this one back, as they were able to in game number 4. There's a good clear into the Gladiators. Have a great pass to Crimson. Crimson,
Ooh.
a shot going to be saved away by Ban this one. Speed going to have to try to keep it in the corner, looking for a pass of his own, but it's going to be going directly to Wolfie. And that Crimson going to have to pick that ball up in the midfield. Ban this one. Going to be first to this. Gets a clear over Crimson, but not past Chef. Chef looking for another one. Maybe a drop off the backboard. Does get it, but no follow-up there from the side of the Rooks. Speed looking to put a shot on net. Not going to be able to touch that one, as he's going to leave it for Chef. Wolfie, a good 50 on that shot. Speed still in the corner, looking for a pass. Gets it past one. Everybody's committing to this ball. A great shot by Crimson. An even better save by Ban this one. And the Rooks sending everybody onto the offensive side of the ball. Chef trying to get another shot, not going to be able to get that reset. His Speed popping this one off the corner, steals the boost, looking for a demo, does get the demo. There's 0 boost on the side. Crimson, a great block on the clear from Wolfie, and we're tied once again with 45 seconds left.
Oh my goodness, what a demo there by Speed Demon. That sets up everything, and I don't know, I guess Wolfie was trying to time it with him having no boost there, but that goal was wide open essentially, and what a great 50 there to get that tied goal here with about 40 seconds remaining. I could see Speed Demon picking up the demos here in this last like 40 seconds to try and open up more opportunities, as he just did there. Yeah, as long as you're not trying to be like predictable in this last 30 seconds, this is what you want to do. You want to throw everything kitchen sink, if you will, at this, but be unpredictable at the same time.
See if it looks like Speed maybe potentially getting a shot there. The Rooks trying to close this game out. Both teams struggling to try to clean this series out.
Oh, that's not
Pass
good.
coming into the midfield. Chef gonna have to get a clear away. Gets a dunk as well. That one's gonna be very good. And we're gonna go to overtime in game number 5. Back and forth series. The Rooks able to claw back once again and force OT. And Crimson gonna put this one off the corner. It's gonna go. Is that on target? That one's gonna bounce off the post. But Crimson put that one back in himself, able to read the bounce off the post and
Oh my
able to
God.
secure the win for the Rooks. And
No
oh my
way.
lord, the Rooks able to complete the reverse sweep.
Oh my goodness. I I am at a loss for words with that. That is incredible there. Great job by the Rooks, never giving up. That is the epitome of Rocket League right there. Do not give up. Play until the game is completely over. That's exactly what the Rooks did there. And Speed, Chef, and Crimson there showcasing why, number one, Speed is the player of the week last week. Chef being part of the duo with Speed Demon, being the top 15 in like goals, saves, assists, all the stats there. Great job by the Rooks. But you know what? Let's talk about this Gladiators team. They played their hearts out. They did a great job there, but unfortunately, they just came a tad bit short.
Such a heart-wrenching loss for them, losing overtime game 4, losing overtime game 5. I mean, they played so well. They had such great moments. They were able to generate so much offense and put the Rooks in such a weird spot. But unfortunately, they just lacked the clutch factor there, and they just weren't able to put either of those games home. They're able to give game 3 to allow the momentum for the Rooks to come back in, and the Rooks kicked the door open. Were just absolutely insane. After the game number 3, they were able to just always come back, always put themselves back into the series, no matter how far they were out. When they were down 2-0 in game number 4, they were able to persevere their way back into the game, and they were able to bring that one home in game 5. They were down 2-1 with just a minute left. They're able to claw their way back into that one, and I mean, absolutely insane from both sides, and definitely a great match to have to kick off, the stream today.
I don't I wouldn't want to follow that series because that was a great series. Oh my goodness, that was fun to watch, fun to cast. I know it was probably very stressful to play for both sides of that of the ball there, but at the end, the Rooks got it done. An absolutely huge victory for them for the postseason coming up. I know the Gladiators would have loved it more because I think it would have meant more to them to win. But the Rooks, they won. Congratulations to them. Hats off to them. But Ventus, we're about to go into the upper echelon of Rocket League here. Very, very much in the way of big time playoff implications coming up here. And the records don't seem like that's the case, but I can guarantee you it's going to be a banger, and I can't wait. Who do we have coming up again?
Dragons versus Nebula, both teams kind of fighting for that just edge of the playoffs. Nebula sitting at the 5 seed, Dragons at the last seed of playoffs at the 6 seed. And I mean, it's going to be a great match. We're going to have to take a short break, but we will be right back. You do not want to miss this next match.
I was all alone. And you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Let's get away from here. Let's get away from here. Strangers stand lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers stand lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here.
Walking on the moon. One moment to escape. You're walking on the moon. Walking on the moon. I've never been. Dance again. All our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. All our trouble seems to fade away. When we dance
Really? He puts it in 0 seconds remaining.
He seems to be fighting hard for it.
It's, oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
Davis, high off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Hold on. Surely this can. Oh my
Let's go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, open tail on the goal line. He did nearly over. Sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. And Ventus, you're continuing the cast here. I'm joined, of course, the GOAT, Ventus. Man, we've got a Titan matchup here on stream, and man, we got some big names and some big players here. Man, I'm excited for this one. I think we got to get right into this one, but man, how you doing, Ventus?
I'm doing fantastic. Hopefully, we'll get this started right away because of that amazing Game 5 overtime victory of Prospect League that I just casted. And hopefully, this won't be any different as we have Dragons for taking on Nebula. Both these teams looking for a playoff spot, looking to increase their seeding, both on the edge of the playoffs as they are sitting at 5 and 6 seed currently. And I mean, it's a much needed victory for either team. So hopefully both teams come out swinging.
Yeah, on the Dragon side, we have the reliable duo of Bluey and Vulcan. They've added Prism to their roster here to fill out their third man spots. And on the other side, we've got a kind of a duo again, is Dinzy and Zinvez, kind of a tongue twister there, as well as Brandon, the staple in the Titan League as well. So a lot of well-known players here in this series. As Bluey now is looking for that one off the backboard, going to try to find Vulcan. Vulcan's shot going to be blocked. Sorry, Prism shot going to be blocked by Brandon. Vulcan looking for a follow-up touch, gets saved away by Zinvez, but Bluey's already there. Bluey looking for a pass down mid. Prism with a pre-jump, just missed him. Could not make contact there, but a lot of pressure early here for the Dragons. Vulcan going to try to take a control touch. He's able to get back to it. Can't. Oh, he does get it over Dinzy, but he's going to be able to pass it back down to Brandon. But a great 50 there from Vulcan. That ball's in the midfield. Prism, first one up. He has the flip reset off the backboard. Shot not on target. Vulcan not able to put it away. Great defense there from Zinvez. And Bluey trying to continue the attack. Tries to get that ball mid, but a great clear there. Vulcan, last man back. Brandon already up. Good defense there from Vulcan as Zinvez now looking for the pass down, but Prism and Bluey do double commit, but they're able to get the ball cleared with the help of Vulcan. And a minute and a half in, we've already had a bunch of action already, Ventus. This league is just, it's a cut above the rest.
Nebula, very much known for being able to just stay alive on defense, being able to hold off these teams and create great counterattacks. Zinvez, a player who just seemingly farms saves. He's already had 3 so far in this game number 1, only 2 minutes in. And I mean, Brandon and Zin, both very, very solid players on defense. Denzi, going to be that kind of solo play, clearance player who's able to just get the ball out of the Nebula half and create some offensive opportunities of his own. And I mean, that's really what we're going to see out of Nebula. And from the side of Dragons, I mean, we're just going to see full-on aggression coming out. Vulcan, Bluey, both able to create some insane solo plays. We have some insane, abilities from all sides of the field. But I mean, it's kind of like a very good offense versus a very good defense, and we'll see who prevails.
And though Dragons cracked this Nebula defense, or will Nebula be able to hold on? So far, it seems like Nebula has been holding on pretty well, even though they have been showered with shots. Vulcan now trying to get a ball out of his own half. It's going to be Bluey, though, taking it to the sidewall. Able to get a nice double over Zinvez, as Bluey also picks up the mid boost, and another great double, but that ball not going to be able to be met by any Dragons player. Prism, though, able to finally get one. That one hits the post. Bluey's there for the 50. I think Prism also got a bump. Great play there from the Dragons.
Denzi expecting to get a catch on that back wall, not realizing it was a little bit farther than he expected. Prism gonna follow that one up by getting a bump, leaving the net wide open for Bluey. Just put that one in. And I mean, I mentioned Zin and Brandon being great on defense. I don't know if I mentioned Denzi or not, so I'm just gonna leave that one to the audience, and we'll see Denzi, maybe just a little bit of a miscalculation there, and hopefully not going to be too much. But this seems like a little bit of an overcommit from the Nebula side, and luckily getting back enough time to save that one away. But Dragons looking pretty solid so far. Their offensive pressure seems to be working very well against Nebula.
Yeah, can it continue? Dinzy able to get the long clear down to Brandon. Brandon now looking for the counterattack goal. Brandon with the shot, going to get saved away by Bluey. Vulcan was also on the back wall. Dinzy pops that one high. Nobody up. Bluey's finally up, but Zinva's already there. The double is going to go wide. Brandon's shot not going to be able to find the net, as Dinzy gets bumped once again, as Prism now looking for the counterattack with Vulcan, but Zinva's already back in time. Bluey looking for a pass across. Only one there is Prism, and Prism with the slow shots, the changeup, able to get it past Zinvez.
Zinvez just caught out with low boost, expecting a very hard shot from Prism, pre-jumping the far the close post to Prism, the far post from himself. And I mean, Prism just electing to take a little slow shot behind Zin. Not going to be able to do much about that one if you're that last man back from Zinvez, and you just kind of have to accept that one is going to go in and mentally reset from there. Dragons, a great 2-0 effort so far, though.
Been a lot of team play. Bluey, the one kind of initiating the attacks, as him and Prism both combined for 1 goal, 1 assist. So those two really been the offense. Vulcan, though, he's been making a lot of chances happen as well. But Bluey, he's been the one that I've been seeing pop off so far. Vulcan now trying to find a pass in the midfield. Vulcan gonna get the shot, but it's gonna go wide. But Bluey's able to put it away. Prism, he was the first one to make the play happen. Vulcan was there for the follow, and Blue was there to finish it off. A great 3-man play there from Dragons.
Seems like the Nebula defense has just been crumbling under the pressure that the Dragons have been able to put up. It seems like the Dragons outpacing Nebula, able to steal a lot of their boost, maintain a bunch of offensive pressure, and Nebula have not really had an answer for it. I'm looking for them to hopefully hold the ball some more, keep playing that possession game, but even more so on the defensive side, and really make light of those chances and really don't take those for granted, as you don't get that many if you're playing a very turtled play style where you're relying on counterattacks.
Yeah, but at the same time, credit to this the Dragon defense. They've done a great job as they almost got scored on. They're gonna get scored on here with a great bump there from Zinvez. First, it was a pre-jump passing play from Dinzy to Zinvez. Then Zinvez got the bump, and Brandon put it away. Great play there.
It's that Denzi to Zinvez connection. These two have been playing with each other so long. They know exactly how each other think. Denzi, not the best pass to Zin. I mean, it's kind of hard when you're pre-jumping like that, and you kind of have to hit a floating target in the air. But Denzi doing his best effort, and Zin able to recover to cover the difference of that pass and able to get that bump is really well played, and a good sign of their offense that they can have when they have that transition and do those counterattacks. And I mean, even though Dragons take game number one, I mean, Nebula looked pretty good at the end.
Yeah, obviously, their defense, it was strong, but man, the Dragons just put on so many shots. Nebula literally had 8 saves. Now, Dragons also had 7 saves to their credit as well. So both these teams, I think they're playing to their strengths. I think Dragons were able to execute on offense just a little bit better. And I think Nebula's counterattacks just weren't as efficient. And so I think if they're able to make more of those scoring chances happen and get out of their own half, I think Nebula. There were a couple times, I don't know, it just felt like whenever they were going for that 3-man play on the counterattack of Ventus, it worked. Whenever it was just 2 of them, the Dragons seemed to really had that lockdown defense. So I just feel like both these teams, they are playing really well, but it's the first game, Ventus, and so first games usually, sometimes they're telling, but a lot of the times on stream, you never know what can happen in game 2. So we will have to wait and see, as now we will see Nebula try to get this ball out of their own half. As Vulcan trying to get that early pressure that we saw from the Dragons in the first game. They were just able to mount so much pressure in the beginning. Bluey trying to get a save there. Ventus, it's only been 30 seconds or so, but so far it's been kind of controlled here, as that ball is going to be bouncing very dangerously in front of the Dragons' half. But I feel like Nebula seems to be a little bit more controlled and more calm already.
I think that their touches have definitely gotten a lot better. You've seen a lot of these touches coming out from Brandon, especially, where he's just been able to glue the ball to his car whenever he wants, able to get so many extra touches, bait in the defense, and really clear it away. And we see a great shot coming out from Denzi, even better save from Prism, just to relieve some of that pressure. But, I mean, Nebula looking a little bit more aggressive, something that we don't necessarily see too often. We usually see them with a lot more defensive counterattack playstyle, but I would not be opposed to them just trying something out, switching up their playstyle a little bit, and going a little bit aggressive to catch the Dragons off guard.
Seems like the Dragons have been able to weather the storm a little bit, though. A great demo there from Vulcan. Gonna force Dinzy to get a bad touch. That ball's gonna go high off the backboard. Zinvez already up for it. Vulcan waiting for the touch. She's there. Pops that one high. Brandon's gonna be the first one there. Bluey sitting all the way back. Waiting on the boost. Doesn't grab it, though. And, he's just chilling on the backboard. And Bluey's gonna try to get it past 2. Zinvez is gonna get the 50. That ball so high up in the air. Prism's going to be the first one to win that race, as Bluey's touch is just going to go straight to Brandon. Brandon with the save. Brandon with the resets. Not the best touch, though. Can he get a follow? He was looking for the pinch, but Prism able to get the touch. Oh, sorry, it was Bluey. Bluey off the backboard. Prism there for the shot. Going to get saved away by Dinzy. As now Vulcan looking for the pass. It's going to be Bluey, though, charging him for the 50. Brandon, one touch high. Prism, he backflips, so it's going to be Zinvez for the follow, but that one is going to go wide. Vulcan also going to get the clear. Dinzy able to get the touch. Nobody's able to follow it, though. It's Prism, first one there. Prism trying to get the clear. That one's going to be cleared by Bluey once again after the shot from Zinvez. Is Brandon now towards the back wall. Vulcan going to get the clear there, as Dinzy's going to be looking. Going to get cleared away by Bluey. Both these teams are trying to find opportunities. One looking to get the ball cleared, but this Nebula team not letting them pass their own half. Dragons trying to find any way through. Bluey side flips, but it lets him get control of the ball just a little bit. Zinvez great touch there, able to get the follow. Gonna look for the 50 as well, but Bluey's already there off the backboard. Can Prism get there? He can, but it's only back towards the midfield. Vulcan there for the shot. There it is. The Dragons' pressure finally surmounted this Nebula defense.
Yeah, we finally see the Dragons break through the pressure that Nebula had and instantly crumble whatever defense Nebula was mounting, as they were just continuously able to pummel the backboard and pummel shots on net until not only all 3 Nebula players were in net, but with 0 boost and not able to get there in time for a shot like that. And I mean, Vulcan once again just putting on a great shot, and I mean, Nebula looking better. I want to see more out of Denzi. I mean, I know he is able to be kind of like a mechanical menace at times, and he's able to just be a nuisance on the field, being able to make cuts and rotations super frequently, able to just relieve a lot of pressure. But I haven't really seen that much of him this series, and I'm hoping that we'll get to see more of it.
Yeah, and while you were talking, I saw some Dragons triple commit, so definitely going to be an interesting. As now the Bluey trying to get an awkward touch, as that one's gonna be cleared away. As Brandon tries to find the one mid, but Bluey's able to get there once again. Bluey has been all over the pitch so far. Brandon waiting downfield, though that one's off the backward. That ball gonna be waterfalling down. Brandon just couldn't get to it. He had the range, just not the speed to get there. As Invis keeps that ball in play. That one bouncing awkwardly for Vulcan. Vulcan already up in the air with a nice read. Doesn't have any boost though to work with as Brandon gets a nice 50. That ball bouncing back mid. No one's there with boost as Prism and Vulcan collide into each other. Dinsy's with a nice touch, though. That one may be accidental, but it almost turned out in their favor. Bluey was able to get the save. Prism now looking for the clear downfield. Is anybody there? Of course Bluey is. Bluey with the shot. Oh, off the crossbar and out. Dinsy trying to get that ball cleared now, but Vulcan's already there. Brandon pre-jumped him, but Vulcan's already there with another touch. That ball bouncing high. 2 players from Nebula commit, but they're able to get that ball cleared. Bluey now. It's his turn on the ball, but Vulcan says, nah, actually it's my turn on the ball as Dinsy gets a good bad 50 as that ball straight to Bluey. Bluey and Vulcan, the duo, able to put a 2-0 lead up.
A good 50 by Vulcan in the corner, able to just push that straight through Denzi and put it into the midfield. And Zinvez having such faith in Denzi that he's going to get a good touch, elects to go for the boost, play a little bit greedily, and he's going to get punished for that one as Bluey going to be just waiting in the midfield, also having faith in his teammate, and it looks like his faith was a little bit better placed as Vulcan able to get a great dunk. And I mean, Dragons seemingly pretty dominant once again. Their offense just seems to be outmatching Nebula's defense, and the Dragons' defense has been so strong. They've been able to maintain possession even after getting these saves, and that's really been the difference maker. Is Nebula hasn't been able to retain their possession when Dragons shoot on their net, and it's really just led to a bunch of goals from the Dragons. So, I mean, Dragons going to take game number 2, but I mean, Nebula have had some great signs of life throughout these 2 games.
Can't even say Nebula is playing that bad. I just think this Dragons team has really locked in this series. These Dragons players, I know them. Bluey literally typed in chat one time, like, buy me a pizza and I'll FF the series. And like this man, if he doesn't want to lock in, sometimes it just doesn't happen. But right now, him and Vulcan, both really locked in. It feels like, and so I think defensively is the biggest surprise for me because I've seen Dragons double commit a couple times, Ventus, but at the same time, I've seen these double commits turn into really good opportunities because either one of them is going to get a really good touch. It doesn't, like, their mistakes, they're not getting punished, and I think they're also compensating for their own mistakes very well. It just seems like this Dragons team, they're covering for each other extremely well.
Yeah, definitely. They have been able to cover each other's mistakes whenever there's a bad touch from either Vulcan or Blue or a double commit. Prism seems to be always there. He's been that super solid rock for that team, and he's kind of been this unsung. I mean, we talk about the Bluey Vulcan duo, but Prism has really done well to kind of incorporate into this team, and they seem to be meshing very well. The Nebula doesn't seem to have much of a response yet. Hopefully they will come up with one in game number 3, but if they don't, I could very easily see the Dragons sweeping the series.
Yeah, but don't count them out yet. We've already had one reverse sweep on stream today, so definitely anything is possible. Vulcan Trying to make something happen, though. It's Bluey trying to play demo, man. It's going to be Vulcan, though, getting the bump. Vulcan, is he going to get the shot? Just doesn't pick up a 12 pad. If he was able to pick up a small pad, he probably could have put that one away. Just, unfortunately, nothing was there. Denzi, he is the one that was supposed to challenge that ball, but instead he gives it straight to Vulcan, who gives it straight to Bluey, who is going to give it to Prism. No, he's going to try to take it himself. Zinviz is going to have the save. Bluey trying to keep that pressure up, gets one touch, trying to get another 50. Vulcan's already there, though, for the touches. That ball gets cleared all the way down to Zinviz once again. Off the wall, trying to look for a pass mid. Is Denzi there? He is, but the shot right down the middle, straight at Bluey. Brandon taking his time now, trying to switch up the pace a little bit. Bluey, though, he was already ready for it, as Vulcan able to get the clear downfield. Denzi gonna let that one go for Brandon. Vulcan, he read that play coming a mile away, though, as he was able to follow it up. Prism now looking for the pass mid. Brandon with a nice touch, just Vulcan back. Vulcan's gonna go immediately. Your third man, Vulcan, you can't be doing that.
I mean, a great flick there on the third man. A very, very aggressive commit from Vulcan, and that one's going to get punched instantly by Brandon. And I mean, a much-needed goal from Nebula as they were shut out last game. And I don't think they were shut out game one, but I think they only were able to muster one goal. And I mean, great signs of life from Nebula. Finally, a solo play coming up from Brandon that was very effective. I mean, I want to see more from Denzi once again. Zinvez needs to clean up a little bit on defense. You know, he hasn't been able to stop the Dragons' offensive pressure. But, I mean, Nebula look a lot better than they did in the first two games.
Already with a 1-0 lead, can they build to it? Prism now. Gonna get a nice 50. It's gonna go over to Vulcan. Bluey did get demoed, so it's gonna alleviate a little pressure, but great pre-jump there by Vulcan to get that ball cleared away off the sidewall. But great place here from Nebula, as Zinviz is not going to have the opportunity to shoot that one, as Brandon's going to get credit for this goal. But you know what? All credit should go to Bluey.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a slight misread there. He came from inside the net, reading the waterfall of the backboard. He read it bouncing out instead of rolling off that down the back wall, and you know that slight mistake there cost them a whole goal. And there isn't much you can cover if you're the Dragons' teammates on that one, as Bluey making a very crucial mistake, allowing Nebula to further their lead and solidify their momentum in this game number 3 and potentially in the entire series.
There's still half the game remaining. Anything can happen, but Brandon trying to make sure the only good things happen for the Nebula side is Bluey. Gonna have a lot of boost on the sidewall. Gets the reset, but a great challenge there from Zinviz, just floating, buying his time, as Brandon now is looking for the counterattack. Zinviz going for the bump instead of the shots, as Vulcan was able to get the save. Bluey now trying to look for the clear. Gets a reset, goes under. Prism's going to put that one high, but Vulcan's all the way back. He's not going to be able to follow it, so Brandon with a nice reset gets over one. Bluey going to take his time, going to take it up the wall once again. Bluey on the ball all the time. It's just how it goes. Vulcan now trying to put that ball back mid. That one's off the ceiling high. Prism thought that Denzi had a touch. Zinviz doesn't get the touch either. Oh my goodness. The ball does get saved away by Denzi, but that could have been a catastrophic moment for Nebula. But instead, it remains 2-0 in their favor, as Zinviz now trying to get that ball cleared. Prism, not a good 50 there, as Zinviz trying to find another teammate as he picked up the 100 boost. That ball going to be launched towards the corner of the Dragons, but Prism's going to be the first one to get that ball cleared, and Bluey has an open net. Can he make this read? No, he can't, but Prism is going to be able to put that one away, and they cut this lead in half.
Once again, it's just like a very aggressive commit as that third man on the side of Nebula, leaving the Nebula defenders really rushing back just to cover the mistakes of that third man rotation. And when you're up 2 goals, you would think that you want to play safer and not want to concede. I mean, 1 goal you could say stay aggressive, try to get a bigger lead, extend that lead in victory. But when you're up 2, when you're up 3, kind of like that, you just want to play a little bit more passive. You don't need to force the mistakes from the other team. You need to not create your mistakes yourself. And it seems like they did not really listen to that, as they were trying to still play very aggressive, which I applaud, but it just hasn't worked out so far for them.
Stay aggressive is my mentality, but sometimes it does bite you in the rear. So definitely not the outcome Nebula was looking for, but that ball is going to hit the crossbars. Now they're staying aggressive, and now they're getting shooting opportunities. Can they continue? This Dragons team literally sitting on like 30 combined boosts. Still, Nebula not able to get a shot on target. Great challenge there from Dinzy, but that ball's gonna fly way over the net. Prism, only one that was able to pick up boost, able to get the clear. Bluey, able to get the save. Vulcan, 12 boost to work with, trying to get this ball cleared. Gets a nice flick over one. Can he get the 50 on the other? In fact, Zinvez just bided his time and didn't even go, but a great bump there. What a play by Bluey. A great finish by Prism as well, but man, Bluey came in like I don't even know. That man just took that man out.
And that's just what you do not want to see. Giving up that equalizing goal, allowing the momentum to shift back in favor of Dragons, especially with 12 seconds left, not being able to hold on to the very end, and maybe a kickoff goal coming out here, a good save by Brandon, making sure that the Dragons not able to take a 1-goal lead with 10 seconds remaining. And I mean, the Dragons have seemingly just gotten their way back into this game, which I thought Nebula had full control over. So Nebula seemingly starting to slip.
Say that, Ventus, but in fact, they're going to score the game-winning goal at 0 seconds. Great touch here from Dinzy, and Bluey just not able to get the touch on the follow-up, and a great shot there from Zinvez. And man, that was a game that honestly I thought was definitely going to go to overtime, but I thought Nebula had it, about halfway through the game. I said there was a lot of time remaining, but they looked so in control. Dragons brought it back, and then all of a sudden, 0 seconds, boom. That's all it takes. 1 goal at that point, and Nebula were able to put that one away. Ventus, now we're looking towards the reverse sweep territory, just like we had in the previous series. Do you think that this Nebula team could pull it off?
I mean, they have the momentum in their favor. They haven't looked bad in games 1 and 2. I think that maybe if the Dragons start to falter a little bit, I mean, I think Brandon played phenomenal this game. I think his touches, the quality of each of his first touches was very good, and it was very great to see. Hopefully, I want to see Nebula be able to pull the reverse sweep. Having back-to-back reverse sweeps in a one Nemesis stream would be absolutely insane. So for the content wise, I'm hoping Nebula is able to do it.
Well, you already cursed him, as Vulcan's going to get the early goal here, but this is honestly just a great play by Prism with a nice touch, but even better 50, just absolutely dunks Brandon like 4 times on my screen. I don't know if it lagged for you, or they just happened to hit the ball 5 times in a row. I don't know, but either way, an early goal here, and this is the first time I've seen a goal this early in favor of Dragons, and so, if they're really able to get that offense going, they can be very dangerous.
Once they already have a 1-goal lead, they can just be so aggressive on the ball. They can make Nebula force them into these tough situations and really like hold them accountable on defense as well. And I mean, the Nebula are going to have to really work their way back into this game, even with just a 1-goal lead for the Dragons.
As now it might turn into a 2-goal lead soon as Bluey, the shot gets saved away by Zinviz, but it's already looking like more pressure here as Prism gets that ball mid. Just too many touches there for Vulcan. The air dribble pass just did not connect, as now Dinsy's able to get it past Bluey, but Prism already there for the clear. Vulcan trying to get the follow-up. Brandon trying to get it past him, but a good challenge there. Bluey now with some boost. Gets it over one. That one's going to hit the crossbar. Can the follow-up come through? Vulcan not able to put it on target. Now Brandon. A nice first touch, able to get it past one. Vulcan trying to race back. Brandon's shot's going to go wide. Prism going to try to get a 50, but it's going to go to Bluey. Bluey gets 50 by Zinvez. Zinvez gets 50 by Vulcan, and Vulcan's going to have the clear. Vulcan trying to get around Brandon, and he does. Bluey already there. Bluey with the weirdest touch of his life, trying to get the follow-up, but not able to get there. As Zinvez now with a long clear. Prism able to get a touch to the corner. That one could be awkward, though, but Bluey was able to follow it up. Now Bluey trying to continue this pressure. Dinzy not able to get the touch and gets bumped. Vulcan with the double. I lied. Where did Vulcan go? That ball gets cleared all the way downfield, and Bluey is going to send it right back, but he does get demoed. Now Dinsby trying to find Brandon. Brandon's there for the shot. Prism there for the save. Already up, reading that one a mile away. That ball going to be bouncing mid. Vulcan, maybe he can find a teammate. And no, he's just going to go for the shot as that net was wide open for him, and a 2-goal lead here for the Dragons.
Zinvez, another very early commit. Brandon hadn't finished rotating back, and as that third man, you really just want to buy time. You want to play defense with 2 members so you can force a ball to make it your life easier for your teammate. But when there is no teammate behind you, there is no way to force. And Vulcan gonna get a kickoff goal here, and Dragons up 3-0, and Nebula seemingly starting to falter, not being able to put much up on the offensive side, and crumbling on defense once again.
seems like the Dragons have decided to win this game, and so that's what they're gonna do. Vulcan able to get a kickoff goal. That's his hat trick already, and it's only been 2 minutes of game time as now Dinzy trying to get the save, and he does. That one gonna get another touch as well as Brandon try to take that ball, initiate the offense once again. It's mainly been Brandon on the offense, been getting these touches and getting these opportunities created. But who is going to step up for this Nebula squad? It is going to be Zinvez right here. That ball going to be double, but it's going to go backwards as Dinzy now tries to get the reset double, but the touch just was not good enough as Brandon trying to get that ball mid. Gets a bump on one, and Dinzy was able to get this shot, but Bluey was already there for the pre-jump save. Bluey now going to flick that one all the way up as Dinzy. That one to the backboard. That one's going to be falling straight down, and Vulcan, of course, he can't make the open net. That one was too easy for him, and so 2.5 minutes remaining, and it's still 3-0. Could have been 4. Vulcan now, last man back, able to get the long clear. Dinzy. That touch is going to go towards the midfield, but Zinvez just respawned. He couldn't get there. A shot there from Prism. Going to get saved away as Vulcan going to try to get a follow-up, but Brandon's going to be there. Brandon going to try to get another one. Can he get one more? He can. That one's going to the backboard, though. That's going to be a free ball for Prism. Prism now trying to get it past Zinvez, and he does. Zinvez, though, able to get a touch on it, and as that ball flies towards the Nebula corner, but Bluey flies in for the shot. That one going to go just high. Brandon trying to take control. Gets 50 by Prism. A very good 50 as Vulcan's already up in the air waiting for it. Vulcan trying to get it one towards the midfield, but it's going to be Brandon passing it mid. A great 50 there, but still Nebula able to send it away, keep their hopes alive, but the clock is not on their side here. Ventus, a minute and a half remaining. They are down 3 goals. This Dragon team continuing the pressure. Can this Nebula team bring it back?
The way that they've been playing in this game, I don't think so. I don't think that they have been rotating well enough. I don't think Denzi's really played his part that he needs to win the series. He hasn't looked very great. Brandon not looking as good this game. Zin still solid on defense, but hasn't been able to do anything on the offensive side of the ball other than that one attempted double touch where he wasn't able to get that angle. And I mean, the Dragons just really seem like the better team at the moment. All they have to do is just drain the clock, and I don't think that'll be very hard for the Dragons to do when they're constantly on offense still.
Yeah, tried to look for another one there, but good defense there from Zinvez. As now Bluey is looking for one more, and he's gonna get it the top right corner. Yeah, it's a sniper shot. And you know what? This is Bluey's first goal of the game, but man, he's been putting on so much shots, so much pressure. This whole Dragons team, Ventus, they are just playing lights out here in game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, Prism has 7 shots to his name. Bluey has 4. Vulcan has 4. And, I mean, one of those was an open net miss that he pinged off the crossbar. So, really, he could be 4 for 4. But, I mean, the Dragons have just been really good in this game. And, I mean, Nebula, it's not like they necessarily played bad. I think they just got outplayed by Dragons. And I think that's kind of been the name of the game is Nebula hasn't been able to perform up to the expectations when they were signing Brandon in the offseason. They spent 3 first-round picks, and it hasn't really worked out for Nebula that well. I mean, Brandon is an X-Factor kind of guy, but even in this series, he didn't really do too much on the way of forcing bad plays from Dragons, for getting great saves and playing that great number, like first-man offensive. And, I mean, he hasn't been the player that, at least in this series, that Nebula hoped for when they traded for him.
Yep, but in the end, Nebula, they put up a fight, but man, the fight was not anything
infinite power, infinite power, power. Infinite power.
Literally, he puts it in 0 seconds remaining.
He seems to be fighting hard for it.
Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. KO. Scott the giant. Oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. Place this head. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward. Can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? Hold on. Surely this can't. Oh my lord.
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Palpatine on the goal line. He did not win nearly over. Sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues, and we are down to our final match of the night. And joining me in the booth is Speed Demon. Speed, man, how you doing?
I think my heart's still racing from that first stream game, the reverse sweep, but I'm feeling pretty good. Kept the win streak alive, and now we're here, and we're gonna watch some top 6 Chally action with the way the seating sits right now between Motion and Hellcats, and this is definitely bound to be a good one. Seating implications are huge in this one, especially with Griffins losing earlier tonight, which allows Motion to be able to slide up, potentially another 2 spots depending on how tiebreakers go with a win over Hellcats tonight.
Yeah, and, I think I'm going to be brutally honest here, Speed. It has been a shame to see some of these. How this season has kind of played out for both Motion and Hellcats. Obviously, Hellcats' team is playing really well, and they got Lucky, who just moved up from their challenger team. Actually, just got promoted. So I want to see Lucky perform well in the challenger league. Really good guy. But this Motion team, they actually had like a really strong squad, and due to some unfortunate circumstances, the team's changed a whole bunch. But now they have Brudder and Squirrel, both players that, in my opinion, are very solid for the Chally League, and as well as Oinko, who, in my opinion, is a pretty solid third man. Now, they still have 1660 in cap space still. Now, I'm not sure if they can pick anybody up. I don't think they can. I don't know how all that works. I am an AGM. I can't say that anymore. I'm not a GM. I don't understand how any of that works. But what I could say is, Motion, they've been able to salvage their season a little here, Speed, because they had a rocky couple weeks there in the middle.
Yeah, they definitely had some of the most roster moves in all of Nemesis this season so far. But they have a squad that can compete. kind of surprising that the two of the players on their team that are, very standout players in Jolly League with Brother and Squirrel, they've bounced around quite a few teams this season. I believe as Brother's gonna make a huge save there right off the rip, but Brother's been on 3 teams this season, maybe 4, and Squirrel's been on 3 or 4 teams as well. And most of those guys are usually, staples of a team. You get them on your team and you build around them. You don't look to move them. So it's definitely interesting to see, but we've had a couple great shots come out here early from Hellcats, and Motion doesn't quite have the pressure yet getting this early under game 1.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna be really interested to see how Strato and Sky Navy play. Those two guys, they're friends, and so they wanted a team, but can they make it work here in the Shally League? Sky Navy able to make a good save there. As now Sky Navy going to try to find the pass mid. That one going to go over Aeon's head, but Squirrel, he's going to be there to receive it as Strato already up in the air. That one going to get cleared toward the side as Sky Navy tries to get a pinch clear, but that one not going to go anywhere. Brother towards the back wall. Strato doesn't have any boost, so she's just going to have to clear it to the side. Squirrel's going to put that one back mid, and Brother is there. That's a duo that you're going to see a lot tonight, Speed, and it's starting us off early.
Yeah, and both of these teams really, like you mentioned it, they're duo monsters, right? Brother Squirrel, Strato, Sky. I mean, Aeon's pretty good himself. Lucky if they bring him in. Oinko has taken quite a bit time off for Motion, so I don't know how much time he's played with this roster, especially because of the last minute drop of Clouds going non-playing. As Brother look for a double tap, no, leaves it for Oinko, and Oinko is going to show me that he has been putting in some work. I know he had taken some time off, but he's going to put in a second goal here for Motion.
Yeah, the first touch by Oinko was also really good to pop it up for Brother, and that's kind of a trust thing, Speed, where it's like you put this ball up, and it kind of feels like a 50-50 ball, but if you believe your guy can go and get it, then that's what you do. As now Oinko going to try to look for another shot here, but it's going to be Squirrel, and he's going to get that long clear downfield. Sky Newbie, a little caught out of position, has to clear that one off his own backboard, gets a nice double as well. Brother, though, still able to follow it up, but Aeon's going to stop him in his tracks. Now Squirrel retreating all the way back, going to leave that one for Oinko. Oinko with one touch, not able to get a follow-up, but Squirrel, he should be able to clear that one downfield. Sky Newbie waiting for that touch. His Brother is in the corner, waiting patiently off the ceiling, going to get challenged immediately. That ball bouncing down. Sky Newbie couldn't get the follow-up touch, but Aeon's already there. Squirrel kind of awkward, 50'd, but he's able to get that ball cleared. Squirrel now pops once. Gonna get the pass over to Oinko again. Oinko, is that one gonna be in? It's gonna be saved away by Strato. Just hit the crossbar as well. As Brother now gonna just try to get a touch, but that one is going backwards to Oinko. The one with the 100 boost loses that 50, but Squirrel's gonna be able to collect it. That ball gets challenged immediately, and now we're seeing this Hellcats team really start to turn up the pressure. Being down 2 goals, they gotta make something happen. Still a lot of time remaining. Oinko with a nice save, though. Strato with a great challenge was able to go under him. Sky Newbie off the corner, looking for the double, and he gets it. Strato could not read that one, as Oinko's just barely able to get a touch, and it feels like these motion teams are just getting the little touches, able to get past this Hellcats offense and able to keep them afloat. As now the score still is 2-0 halfway through this game, Speed, and it feels like Hellcats are starting to settle in a little bit, but still Motion not giving them any easy goals.
No, they are not, and little things seem to go Motion's way. You mentioned it, a couple small little touches that are just going their way as a whiff comes out there, but Sky Newbie on the attack. But we saw Hellcats come out early. They looked really strong, had a couple great shots. Motion defended it, then had a couple great shots of their own, able to find it in the net. And now we're looking at Hellcats coming back again, and really great gameplay. Just unfortunate to see Hellcats not be able to find a goal yet, as they're looking for one here. But no, Brother's gonna get the touch, but accidental. But Aeon is going to retreat, get full boost, and he's gonna start up this counterplay again.
Yeah, but Oinko already there for the demo or for the bump, and Aeon says, "You know what? I'll pay you back and on your teammate instead." As Oinko gets 50'd by Strato, that ball bouncing awkwardly. Brother trying to take his time, tries to get that one mid. Squirrel gonna pop that one high. Can't do much else with that ball, as Aeon's gonna take his time. Realizes he does, but Oinko says you're running out of time quickly as he gets the demo. Strato able to get the beat, though, as he's now looking for the flip reset. He gets it. Squirrel still able to get the save, as Sky Newbie could not get the shots to follow up. Squirrel now trying to go in the air. Gets the air dribble over one. That one's going to be just off target, though. It's Aeon now going to try to pass it over to Strato. Strato going to try to pass it back over to Aeon. The passing play was beautiful there, and they cut this lead in half.
They do. That was a beautiful passing play. Aeon over to Strato, back to Aeon, getting the defense side to side. Brother just didn't know what to do, wasn't able to get up quick enough for that. And Hellcats give themselves some life just in the nick of time as they have a minute left. That's a beautiful spot to be in, only down 1 goal with a minute to play.
Now, can they capitalize on the chance that they have given themselves? Good touch there by Sky Newby to get over one. Can he get the follow-up? Cannot get the touch as Oinko is going to get 50. That ball going to try to get clear by Squirrel, but that one's only going to go towards the midfield. But Breder is there to collect it. Get the long clear. Breder now spinning it towards the back wall. Aeon able to get the clear past Squirrel. Now Oinko, last man back. Sky Newby couldn't get the touch off the wall, and Oinko going to be able to get the challenge. Oinko with 0 boost. Going to try to find a pass mid. Breder's going to be there, but the touch was not great. That ball's going long. Is that ball going in? It is. Strato able to get the game-tying goal with 25 seconds remaining.
That's a smart move there by Strato. He read the pass attempt. They've been looking to pass all game long, and he reads that one like a book, and he's going to tie this one up with 25 seconds to go, giving them even more life. Now, Motion has to find a way to respond to this, as now Hellcats are on 2 unanswered goals here.
Seems like Hellcats have really stepped up their game, and the defense from Motion just seems to break just a little bit as they're going for these counters. So Motion looking to capitalize on that, as now Sky Newby gonna look for this counter once again. Strato not gonna go for the ball. It's gonna be Aeon clearing that one all the way downfield. Squirrel's gonna be there. Squirrel almost got dunked by Sky Newby, but instead it's sitting all the way back down towards the Hellcats half. But Strato keeps it in the air. It's gonna hit the ground though. We're gonna have overtime in the first game. Speed. Man, I never got a prediction out of either of us, but you know, with this game one already going to overtime, who do you have taking this first game?
You know, halfway through that first game, I was going to say Motion if they didn't make a change. Aeon was looking a little slow and sluggish, but he's starting to come alive here as the, you know, final minutes have happened here in game number 1. And I think I might have to go with Hellcats. They have the momentum. They started off early. They had a couple unfortunate misplays, and then they locked it back in, and now they're starting to find the back of the net. But Breder looking to put this one away. No, that one's going to be just wide. And now Sky Newby trying to make something happen. He's going to get 50 in the middle over to Strato, and he's going to send it into the corner and try to get something to happen here. But Breder's going to clear this one away.
I think this team, the team that's going to win, is going to be the one that just scored, actually. Aeon is going to put that one away. The beautiful shot, by the way. Sky Newby is just going to pop that ball up high. He doesn't get the boost, but it's going to be a shot here for Aeon, and Squirrel just didn't have anything. It's top shelf. Beautiful, beautiful placement. And in game number 1, Asterisk is going to win this first game as Hellcats, you know, I wouldn't say they snatched this one away, but they were down 2-0, and, you know, it kind of felt like they had the momentum, and they had the shots, and they had the offense, but at the end of the day, Motion, they were up 2-0. Like, how do you throw that one away, Speed?
Yeah, I don't know. With the caliber of players of Breder and Squirrel, I know Breder is typically a very offensive player. Squirrel does a little bit of everything. He's a really good, you know, second man, third man, with, you know, great abilities to be a first man. But I don't know how you throw that away. That's just tough to see if you're a Motion fan here. And really, I think you chalk that down to is just how many roster changes they've had this season, and just still not quite fully, you know, having that chemistry, as Aeon's trying to make something happen early in game 2, but that one's going to get sent away. But Strato's there for the rebound. Can he get the double? No. Breder trying to clear this one. He does. Sky Newby tries to get the 50, but Breder is going to send that one away. And now they're starting to have a little life here after some crazy saves on the defensive end.
Yeah, some great defensive plays there from Motion, and that's where I think a lot of teams really need to, you know, get started in the defensive end, transition that into good offense. Breder tried to do so there, as now Squirrel, he said, okay, it's my turn to transition this into good offense. Going for the air dribble. It's a slow one, but Aeon still couldn't get a great 50 on it. Oinko hits it off hits it off the sidewall, as now Sky Newby gonna get that ball cleared. Squirrel's gonna be the first one there, though. Gets it over one. Strato racing back, does get the demo as well. Aeon 50 boost, trying to make a play happen, but Breder instantly challenges him, not giving him any time to react. His Breder now looking for the pass mid, but Strato had that one read, as now Squirrel gonna have a little bit of time. Gets that one, but it's got a great challenge there by Sky Newby, but Breder's already there. Aeon able to get the touch. Can he get the follow? He can. That's over Oinko as well. Aeon with not a lot of boost, just tries to get a touch. Could have left it for Strato, but instead, the ball is just gonna be past mid. Sky Newby doesn't have the boost to catch up. Gets a flick over one. Oinko's going to have a clear here, though. His Breder, he's going to be the first one to that ball. No, he's not going to make contact as Strato pop that ball back mid. Sky Newby trying to keep possession. Tries to get a follow-up touch, and he does. That one bouncing awkwardly. Brother able to get the touch. Is he able to get the follow? He can. Tries to get it over one. He gets a nice 50 there. This could be the start of a counter attack. There's only one man back. It's going to be Aeon. Aeon able to get the save. A great shot there from Brother, though, as Motion try to get the first goal on the board. Is it going to be Squirrel here? No, that one's going to be just a little too high. As now, Brother with the shot. Skynubi with the save, but Oinko, the finisher, is there to put it away.
Yeah, I really thought Squirrel was going to have that initial off the backboard, but Brother does a great job making it awkward, trying to slot it into a place where it was going to be tough for those Hellcats defenders to make a touch. And look what happens. They make a poor touch, goes off the post. Oinko there to swallow that one up. Does great job, gives them life. That's something that they needed to score first here after, having that 2-0 lead and letting it slip from their fingers. But Hellcats trying to get this outcome to change, tie it back up. No, that one's going to be saved away again by Brother, and it looks like Motion is really starting to click right now.
The defense is starting to really take shape here. Can the Hellcats find a way through? They've had a couple good opportunities, but the defense has been stellar. But you know what's been more stellar? The shooting, and Squirrel's going to put that one in the back of the net. A great shot here from Squirrel.
Yeah, now that's what we like to see from Squirrel. He missed the last one going up for the aerial, and it was more open. And this one, he's just going to place that one almost perfect top right bins, give himself a 2-0 lead, and now they have to hold it. We were in this spot last time, 2-0 at halfway point, and they let it slip. Can they hold on to it this time, or are they going to, history repeat itself and have that 2-goal lead also slowly dwindle right in front of them?
Defense has been stepping up here for Motion. Hopefully, it can continue to hold strong. Skynubi able to get it past one. Oinko, a little awkward, but Brother helps him out. Aeon, though, first one of that ball. Oinko able to clip the clear, though. The Squirrel is able to get the follow. And Skynubi, not a lot of boost. Able to pick up that back corner, though, so Brother's touch is going to be met by him as now Brother going to just pop that ball high. This is dangerous. All three of the players were in that corner for the Motion squad, but Strato could not get the clear as Oinko now trying to get that past mid. Aeon able to get the save. Cannot get the best touch to follow up, but Skynubi, he's going to have the clear. Brother already in the air, ready for that one. It feels like Brother and Squirrel and Oinko are all on top of these passes, as now with a minute and a half remaining. All you got to do is score one and give yourself a chance, but so far, it seems like Motion does not have any signs of weakness. The Squirrel's gonna have to make a save there. The demo came through, the whiff from Brother came through, but Squirrel was able to clean it up. But still, that was a scary sight for Motion here, and with a minute remaining, you're starting to see the chinks in the armor.
Yeah, and great attack here by Hellcats. Yet again, Strato trying to make something happen, doesn't quite get the flip reset, running out of boost. Oiko trying to just force this ball, give themselves a relief of pressure, waste time, as Strato's going to get another good 50. But again, Oinko is back. Not a lot of boost, though. And Skynubi's going to elect to let that one go back all the way to Aeon. And yeah, like you said, Motion starting to get a little sketchy, but it's a great shot attempt comes out from Brother. But they are playing quick. They're playing fast. Can this one go in? And that is probably the dagger right there by Oinko.
That is a great, just continuous pressure play here by the Motion squad. I think they stole so much boost. They stayed in the offensive end. A great double attempt by Brother forced the defense into an awkward position, and it allowed Squirrel to get the pass back to the midfield, and Oinko was already there. So great, just three-man play there from Motion. And you know what we haven't seen? I have not seen a whole lot of passing coming out from the Hellcats, so I want to see this offense really start to step up. Obviously, I think both Alpha, Aeon, and Skynubi can all go for these solo plays, but I want to see some of this passing like we saw in that first game, that little tiki-taka passing that Aeon and Strato had. I'm not seeing it here, though. All I'm seeing is Brother dice up this defense like it's butter.
Hey, that was kind of a passing play from this Hellcats team. Aeon trying to get the touch, and Brother is just right there to meet that touch. Kind of a little passing play, but yeah, that's not what you want to see. Thankfully, they won game one. They can bounce back. They can, talk about what they did good in the first game, what they didn't do well in this second game, and, try to really figure it out here. You got a minute, use the minute, talk about it. But Brother, Squirrel, Oinko firing on all cylinders, playing really fast, smart, boost stealing. They're playing a little physical, nothing too crazy, but just the speed is just forcing this Hellcats team to just be so awkward.
Yeah, Hellcats they didn't seem to have the great offensive chances. Like basically I felt like their great offensive chances last game came off counterattack speed, and it just didn't seem like Motion were even giving them the time to even start a counterattack. They were challenging so quickly. However, it I'm not saying that this Motion team is unbeatable, because to be honest, there's definitely some chances that were were left to be desired on the side of Hellcats. If they're able to clean up these clears, these passes, these first touches, they can really start to punish some of the motion overcommits. But for now, Brudder, he's just going to keep running rampant in this Hellcats half.
Yeah, Brudder is just. I've played with Brudder before in another league, and he's just so good, so quick. His knowledge of the game, his touches are just impeccable at times. And the sad part is he's looking really good in this game, but I still don't even think he's playing to the best of his abilities. He's, you know, done good, but he's missed quite a few double taps. Stuff that he normally hits all the time. As Strado is going to get a little mecky here, and he's going to put that one in the back of the net, and he is going to give Hellcats the early lead here in game 3.
A great shot here, jumping off the ceiling to catch up to the ball. Just not what Squirrel was expecting at all, in fact, and so he got caught out of position on the front post. And I said I wanted to see some more team plays coming out from the Hellcats, but hey, if you're able to make a solo play like that, sometimes you just gotta make the solo play work. As now Aeon trying to do the same thing, but he's going to pop that one up high. It's going to be Strato once again going for the solo play. He's going to get the demo, and that's going to be a free shot. And Sky Newbie, well, he skies it. And man, Oinko, he's going to get the long clear and breathe a sigh of relief, as Motion should be down 2-0 right now.
That was, I don't know how you missed that if you're Sky. That net is practically 95% open, and Sky Newbie trying to get a little too cute with it, trying to hit top bins, and actually just misses. And if you're the Hellcats after losing that game, you can't see that. But Sky Newbie, he's going to make up for his mistake earlier. He's going to put his team back up by 2 like they should have been. And, that's good for his mental right there.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of bad defense. I saw Brudder literally camping in the front post, and if you're camping in the front post, you literally can only guard one thing, and that is directly in front of you. So it's just not a good play. Brudder, I need better positioning there. Also, the challenge onto Aeon wasn't great. It forced him to do absolutely nothing. So it felt like Motion, their defense, which was honestly stellar in my opinion in game number 2, really starting to falter here in the early stages of game 3. Sky Newbie trying to continue up that pressure, as that's a touch from Squirrel that leaves a lot to be desired. Once again, Brudder turned back, so it could have been a pass, but in the end, it's just more pressure here for the Hellcats. Sky Newbie now trying to convert that pressure into an opportunity. Gets the reset, but Brudder says, you know what, you're not going to do anything. Not on my turf. As now Oinko up in the air. Going to look for a touch and maybe a follow-up, as he's going to go towards the back wall, as Strato really awkward. Aeon going to have to get a touch towards the corner. All 3 players from Hellcats, their speed, had to commit for that ball, and it seemed like they panicked a little bit on the defense side. Both these teams, the defense just seems to be where they're lacking, so anybody's game at this point, and another defensive mistake, and Brudder's going to capitalize.
Yeah, Sky Newbie had plenty of boost to work with, and just not quite the greatest positioning. Ball eats him up there. He wasn't quite able to get control of it, and the pressure there by Motion, staying with him, forcing him to make that play, knowing that someone's breathing down his neck, creates that opportunity for Brudder to just be able to come up and put that one into the back of the net and really cut into this lead now as we're approaching that halfway point.
Halfway point, 2-1 lead for the Hellcats, and like I said, it's anybody's game, because in my opinion, the defense from both these teams just not stepping up in these moments. But the offense, as Sky Newbie almost puts a stellar shot on, has been playing really well. Brudder able to get a nice touch there, but it's going to be Alpha up in the air, trying to make a play happen, but his first touch was just a little too wide, but the follow-up shot is going to be there. Sky Newbie put that one on target somehow, as now Aeon, he's going to try to do the same, but that touch from Brudder going to go straight down to Squirrel. Squirrel with no boost, though. Strato gets faked. Squirrel trying to get a pop over Sky Newbie, and he does. Sky Newbie rushing back, grabbing boost, trying to get to 50, but it's going to be a lead from Oinko. Brother up in the air. Brother going to get 50 by Strato. A great fake there from Oinko, trying to create an opportunity for his teammate. Not going to go through. Sky Newbie able to get the clear. Aeon's going to get there for the shot, but that one going to go wide. Squirrel couldn't get the follow-up touch either as Aeon continues to put on the pressure. It's going to be Strato this time, putting that ball back mid. No one's going to be there for the follow-up shot, though. Sky Newbie trying to continue the pressure. The second man just too far back for Hellcats. Aeon with one touch, goes off the back wall. Brother can't get there. Squirrel, he can though. Clears that one down to Oinko. Oinko, he's looking for the demo. He's not looking for the ball, and nobody from the motion squad was looking for the ball on that one, so it's more pressure here. But a great demo there from Brother alleviates all of the midfield pressure as now Oinko off the ceiling. Gets one touch, can't get a follow. Sky Newbie, he's going to capitalize on that one immediately. Tries to get a follow-up from to himself, but Brother was able to get that long clear. Aeon, he's going on the ground for this one, able to get the 50. Strato looking for the clear. He gets the touch to himself. Aeon with the fake. Strato, that touch, not a great one, but he gets the dunk. Oinko, super awkward. Sky Newbie just has to get a 50, but Brother with 10 boosts, able to get the clear. Now he's looking for the 50 on one, and he wins that. Strato looking for an opportunity, gets a nice flip. Squirrel, kind of awkward. Oinko, that ball goes up high. Is there going to be anybody from Hellcats? There's Aeon, but the first touch is going to go to Oinko on the follow-up. Sky Newbie with a pre-jump, able to get that read. 30 seconds remaining. Sky Newbie now trying to make a play happen. Motion, they really want this goal. They've been hanging on for dear life, but the opportunity to score has not come quite yet. Strato going for the bump. Oinko's going to get the clear, though. Now, Sky Newbie, with all the boosts, going to hit that one off of his own corner. A double commit here. Leaves Strato last man back. Brother, he's looking for the shot. Doesn't get the touch. And with 10 seconds remaining, that could be fatal. Brother trying to pop that one for Squirrel. Squirrel, he's not going to be the first one there, but he does get the dunk. That ball now bouncing mid. Brother, one touch off the backboard. Can he get the follow? No. Sky Newbie, he's going to try to chase this one down. He puts it to the ground, and the Asterix, aka the Hellcats, are able to hang on.
Yeah, and that right there, that's a beautiful game out of the Hellcats. They looked good early. They then, struggled a little bit defensively. We saw some awkward positioning. They really had to withstand some pressure from motion, and then they locked it back down. They were playing smart. They weren't overcommitting. They were really the priority there towards the end of the game, and you could see it was don't let them score, right? That we have the goal. We don't need another one. And they were just playing really, really smart. In motion, they were giving it to them too. So, great battle from both of these guys. We are going to head to Forbidden Temple with Hellcats up 2-1 in the series. And, they're looking really good. They just have to play one more complete game with no lapses because this motion team is going to be hungry to come out for this game.
Motion just seemed to not be able to find the back of the net. They couldn't even get the shots, it felt like, Speed, because honestly, it was the midfield presence from Hellcats. I think Sky Newbie and Strato were the main ones that were just able to kind of just turn in the midfield and just challenge, and that's kind of what we saw Motion doing in game number 2, so the roles really did flip there. But who will be able to come out on top in game 4? Honestly, it's Forbidden Temple. Nobody can really predict what's going to happen here. But it's going to be looking like an early start here for Motion as Aeon couldn't get a touch there. His brother tried to get that one back towards the midfield. Oinko, he's going to turn with not a lot of boost, trying to get that ball continuously into the Hellcats half, but instead it's going to be Strato. And Strato can do a lot on the ball. That one's going to go wide. That one's going to go high. Motion hang on, but maybe not for long. Aeon with the 50, get big, and he's gonna have the goal in just 46 seconds.
Yeah, and I think that goal is to be accounted for as when Brother just spawned, he spawned right in the path of Squirrel, who had quite a bit of momentum. I don't know if he would have saved it, but it definitely would have been close. And that's just super unfortunate if you're Motion. That's not something that you want to see after being down in the series 2-1, as another whiff's going to come out here by Squirrel, and Oinko elects to not take his time, but to just bang it right into the Hellcats defense.
Yeah, I think he was looking for a pass there, and they're trying to speed up play. It feels like Motion. They don't want to give any time for this Hellcat squad to recover, but a pass like that from Squirrel is going to result in a counter as Aeon got a great touch. Aeon's been kind of in those passing lanes. This is the second time I've seen it already this game. Sky Newbie, he's going to put that ball up high. Brother's going to be the first one there. Aeon, once again, in that passing lane, not allowing Brother to do anything, except Brother says, I'm going to do anything. I'm going to do something anyway. As now, Strato trying to make the ball go towards the Motion's goal. Motion, they're not going to be able to get back. It's just a quick counterattack goal once again. And Strato, he gets the beat on Oinko, and Brother's racing back. Just got to be able to put it away. Speed, it just feels like this Motion team, they're just getting caught out.
Yeah, they really are, and that's a great play though by Sky Newbie. Those are some of the hardest shots when you're not following your own touch there, and you're trying to be close for that teammate, and you know that defender is rushing in to make that save, and you have to go quick on the tight angle like that. That's a really smart play and hard to do for Sky. So hats off to him, who has kind of struggled here off and on here in this series so far, for him to really just lock in offensively, and you know it gives him that cushion in case he does make another defensive mistake, as we have seen twice in this series from him.
Those defensive mistakes rear their ugly head now, or will the Hellcats be able to hang on? We've got 3 minutes left to see what's going to happen here. A Squirrel is going to now look for the shot. That one gets saved away by Sky Newbie. His brother hits that one off the backboard. Squirrel with 10 boosts. He's going to go for the shot here. He can place that one beautifully, and he does the bottom right corner. You pre-jump him. He's going low. It don't matter. It's a 2-1 game now in favor of Hellcats, but Squirrel, he starts the momentum here for Motion.
Yeah, but that right there started from the bump from Oinko, getting that back bump, hitting that ball also into his teammate of Brother, which allowed Squirrel to be able to go up and get that ball. That's the type of play that they need. They need to disrupt this Hellcats defense, and they need to play in the air. They are all very, very good players in the air, and they need to start playing to their strengths and look for those team passing plays in the air as a dunk comes out from Squirrel. But Sky Newbie is going to be there and does get a great double touch clear. Brother trying to get the clear, but no, that one's going to go straight to Strato in the midfield, and he is going to regain that 2-goal lead for the Hellcats.
Brother been taking notes from Marco, passing that ball mid to the other team. That one just not the touch you're looking for. Brother, I think, definitely could have just taken his time, not touched the ball at all, in fact. But also, it felt like their third man was once again too far up, caught out of position, and you know, Hellcats have been able to capitalize on it. Aeon trying to capitalize on a great ceiling shot opportunity. Sky Newbie now going to look for the pass mid. That one's going to be bouncing. Brother barely is able to get a touch, and Sky Newbie couldn't get the follow-up shot. Aeon now going to try to get the touch. Oinko going to get past two. Aeon gets bumped once again. Oinko going to look for the pass over to Brother. Brother's shot is a beautiful one. Oh my goodness. Bar down. What a shot from Brother.
Oh, I thought at first that Squirrel and Oinko were going to go for that pinch, and the comms to come out from them, and Brother had to have been screaming for that pass across. Beautiful placement, beautiful pass. Gets them back on the board, feeling good, down 1 with 2 minutes to go. And that's the type of plays that we need to see from this Motion team. They can shoot well, they can shoot hard. They just have to get this defense moving left to right and get them a little more confused.
These opportunities need to come more often. Oinko trying to create an opportunity there, but Sky Newbie already on top of that one. Aeon able to get the beat, and Strato's already there. Strato shot going to get saved away easily by Brother, but Sky Newbie's already there for the follow. Oinko able to save it on the goal line. Not a lot of boost to work with. Brother trying to get the clear, and he does, but only as far as Strato, and Strato pops that one in the air beautifully. Not a lot of boost on the side of Motion. That ball water falling. A great dunk there from Aeon. He read that one like a book. Squirrel, where are you going?
Yeah, and Strato, Aeon making things happen. Great attempt there by Strato. I thought he was going to initially fall, and he had a great recovery off the ceiling. He did get his flip reset, and he was trying to fall down to that, but he didn't need it, as Aeon going to be there, going to secure that goal for the Hellcats. And again, Motion is just letting this game slip out of their hands. We saw it happen early in game 1, and now we're watching it happen yet again here in game number 4 on Forbidden Temple.
Motion, though, not going down without a fight as Squirrel, able to bring them back to 1 goal, and every time Hellcats extend this lead, Motion have an answer very, very quickly here, Speed, and there's a minute remaining on the clock. Don't count this Motion team out yet. They are fighting for their lives here in this series. Forbidden Temple, anything can happen, Speed. We got a minute left. Do you think this Motion squad can do it? Can Brother and Squirrel and Oinko pull this off? Oh my goodness, I don't even gotta ask. It's a tied game.
It is a tie game, and Brother electing to bring this ball down. Beautiful catch. Gets Sky Newbie to bite, and we're watching a Hellcats team who locked down their defense in game number 3 to secure that win and withstand all that pressure. And now they're on match point, and they're acting like they need this game win to force a game 5, and they don't. But Strato trying to get that answer. And no, that's going to be off the crossbar. And Oinko's going to send this one down, but that's going to be right to the middle. And to Sky Newbie. Sky Newbie's going to get that touch over to Strato. Now Aeon's going to collect this one. He's going to look for a double. And that one is just going to go up to the ceiling and is going to get beat, though. Squirrel gets beat. Strato is not there, electing to play a little slow as we hit the 30-minute mark, as both these teams know what's online.
Yeah, 30 seconds remaining. Tied game. Squirrel. Nice pop. That's a double commit here from Hellcats. Can Oinko capitalize? He's going to put that one high off the backboard. Is Brudder going to be there? No, it's going to be Aeon. Not getting a touch. Squirrel gets demoed. Brudder going to rush for that ball. Strato gets beat. Sky Newbie, first one there. Tries to take a control touch. Doesn't have the boost to follow. Aeon able to get a long clear, and Squirrel's racing all the way back. Squirrel needs a good touch here. He gets a pretty good touch, but Strato's still able to follow it. But Squirrel able to get that ball clear, alleviate all the pressure. Sky Newbie gonna let this one go to overtime, and once again, we have overtime in this series. Last time, it was the Hellcats that came out on top. That was in game number 1. A very similar situation to this one, as Aeon, he's gonna look to get the equalizer here. A backflip, and it's a goal for Sky Newbie. Squirrel chokes at the last second in overtime. The backflip is huge, and Sky Newbie punishes immediately.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. Squirrel had the read. He was at least gonna 50 that. A better opportunity to save that than what Brudder did. And Brudder does get a touch on that ball, but Sky Newbie placed it just far enough out of his touch where that ball still went in. And Hellcats are going to take this in game number 4. And we just watched motion. They had moments of brilliance. Brudder and Squirrel trying to do everything they could. Oinko looked really good. He had a great fill-in role for them. Just still not enough chemistry for those three, as the season's dwindling down. They are in a good spot, like I said. They're still sitting at 9-5. They have clinched at least the play-ins. So really, all this is for them to just use the next 3 matches to end the season and really get that chemistry locked down for when it matters most.
And honestly, like you said, I saw Brother and Squirrel playing a nice 2-minute passing play pretty well. And Oinko, I felt like played a very good support of just being there for either one of the passes. I mean, he had a great pass over to Brother into the shot. And so I think this motion team definitely, there's things to work on, just like all Chelly teams, by the way. Definitely things to work on. But, shout out to Hellcats for honestly, I don't, I don't think they dominated by any means, but it felt like their pressure was just so much more lethal than the motions pressure. The defense from Hellcats, while shaky at times, still was able to come up clutch. And honestly, I think the individual play from Aeon and Strato and even Sky Newbie as well, it just felt like all 3 of them had a very good individual performance. As well, they did pass as well. It felt like both teams are playoff teams for a reason right now. And so I really do hope that they can take these next couple games to learn, just play with each other just that much more, get that chemistry up just even more. And I'll be very excited to see both these teams in the playoffs, or play-ins at least. So gonna be a fun one to watch as the season comes to an end very shortly. But the season's coming to an end very shortly. Speed. So is this stream. But before that, we got some important people to shout out.
That we
Yeah,
do.
what
We
are
do have our Nemesis premium subscribers. With the Nemesis premium subscribers, thank you, Flame, Storm Reaper, Wiggle, Crotera, Fenner, Neon, Street Soul, Critter, myself, Jax,
Okay.
Parker, and Rare. We appreciate you guys for supporting Nemesis, and we couldn't do it without you. It helps everything behind the scenes, work flow, and gives us a prize pool. It helps us, pay casters and streamers so that we can continue to have these amazing streams that we do.
Absolutely. And with that, guys, that's going to be the end for this Monday night stream. Join us back on Wednesday nights where it'll be match day number 16. There we go. 16. As man, we are coming to the end of the season here, Speed. It's been, honestly, it doesn't feel like it's been that long of a season, to be honest. I feel like it's flown by. So already we're seeing a lot of these playoff matches. Clinches are coming through. We're going to have a whole bunch of that action on Wednesday nights. But that's going to do it us do it for us tonight here. Speed, anything you want to say before we head
Uh,
out?
Nothing I gotta say. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Flip, thank you for having me in the booth with you. Have a great night, and we will see you guys Wednesday.
Yep. See you guys Wednesday. Deuces.